Oh, you're so cool, Brewster.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
You won, and I died!
I'm feeling woozy, yeah! They're coming to get you, Barbara.
How's it hanging, Phil?
What's the prime time, bitch?
Come and get it! So either put the gun down now, or kiss your ass goodbye.
Let's get this party started.
I agree, Dana. Let's get this party started. So, welcome back to Sledgehammer Horror, guys. I am Ken Sledge.
And I'm Ashley Sledge.
And let's talk horror. Now, today, as always, we do have two absolutely amazing guests here with us. We have Kainan of Ghost Pirate Entertainment. How you doing today, brother?
What's up, guys? Doing
Hey.
wonderful. Very good.
Awesome.
Excited to be
Awesome
here.
to have you back, man. We're very
Yeah.
excited to have you back. And then underneath, on bottom, as always, we have the amazing Jordana. Jordana, Pretty
Hi.
Killer Podcast. How you doing tonight?
I am fantastic. Now I'm hanging with you guys. Thank you
Yes.
for having me.
Super excited.
Very
Yeah.
excited to have you both here. But before we get started, as always, we do want to catch up on the chat. Welcome, Adrian.
Hey,
Thank you for
Adrian.
stopping in. Hi there. My name is Scott Walker. I'm very new to your channel, and I love horror films. I'm a big fan of werewolf movies and absolutely love the Scream films. And I do believe Stu will return. I see you are on the Stu
Ooh.
train. If you aren't, you should check out my buddy Craven Something Scary. He agrees with you 100%. Thank you for coming out,
Yeah.
Scott. We hope you have an amazing time tonight, my friend.
Absolutely.
I think it's an inevitability that he'll be back in the franchise at some point. Somehow they're going to bring him back at some point.
At this
Mhm.
point, they just have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially
What's up,
with the
Tatum?
whole
Thanks for
mess
stopping
that
out.
the
Tatum.
franchise is in.
Please also do that. Thumbs up, subscribe, share the stream. Really appreciate it. Best kill got to be welcome to primetime, bitch. Okay.
It's a
So,
good one. That's
that-
a good one.
We might talk about that one.
Yeah.
Jason's kill from
Mhm.
part 4. Again, we might talk about these. Ray is here. What's up, buddy?
Hey,
Hello,
Ray.
Ken, real life superhero Ashley, guest Tatum, and everybody
Aw.
in the chat. My list is going to be a bit wild. I hope so.
I'm here for it.
And
Mhm.
as always, we do have their links in the description. Their links,
Oh,
but
yay.
Tatum will also be putting them in the chat as well.
Thank
So
you, Tatum.
make sure you are subscribing,
thank you, Tatum.
following, becoming a part
Thank
of
you,
their
Tatum.
families as well. Tatum does the Lord's work. We really
Mhm.
appreciate it.
Yes, we do.
Ryan, good evening, my friend.
Hello, Ryan.
All right. Did you see any of the movies on your list? And if so, which ones? All of them.
I've seen all of them. Yeah.
All of the movies.
Every single one. Yes.
Yeah. I don't think it would be fair to talk about a kill you haven't, like from a movie you haven't watched.
Right.
I do want to say also, what's up, Dewey?
Hey, Dewey.
If you guys get the chance, we just
Yay.
released a short on our channel, our immediate out of the theater reaction to Lisa Frankenstein.
yeah.
So when this is
Oh,
over,
nice.
go check that out. We
Gonna
literally
see that
left the movie
tomorrow.
theater and rushed home to do this.
Mhm.
So make sure you check that out. I'm not going to spoil anything. I had fun.
It was so much
Yeah.
fun.
I had a
It was a lot of
blast
fun.
with that
And
movie.
that's exactly what I wanted this evening. Was just a fun movie that you didn't have to think about.
And they did confirm, not in the movie. It has nothing to do with the movie. But the writers
Yeah.
and directors, everybody did confirm this takes place in the same world
universe.
as Jennifer's body.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
That's so cool.
you
It
could
is.
definitely get a
Yeah, I
Jennifer's
was
body
torn.
vibe
I
on
was
this.
Yeah, for sure.
I was torn
I-
between going to see that tonight or Out of Darkness. So I'm gonna see Out of Darkness tonight and Lisa Frankenstein tomorrow.
Yeah.
But
you-
like I was torn. I was like, I don't know which one to see first, but because it's about
It-
which one I want to do a review of first. Like, you know.
Right.
It was on my
Oh.
top 10 most anticipated for this year. I was
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Same
Yeah,
here.
we have started watching them, Bobby. Like I said, it's been kind of crazy. I know that you recommended one of them, so remind me
I
which one it
feel-
was, and I'll let you know if we had
I
seen
feel
it.
like I'm blind. I cannot read that.
I know. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna get started. We're gonna do things a little different
I got my
today because they're
phone.
kills, and we do got to tell everybody right off the rip. There's gonna be spoilers here. Some of these
Yes.
happen at
Oh,
the
yeah.
end of movies.
Big
Some happen
time.
at the beginning.
Yeah.
Some happen at the middle. And so to kind of, we're not going to do honorable mentions until we get to number 1, just to have a little bit more fun. So I'm going to start us off at number 10. And I could have gone with any movie or any kill from this franchise, really. That's something else that I did differently. I only did 1 movie per franchise on mine. I don't know anybody else. I don't keep any rules. People can do however they want to do.
I did that too, but that was really, really hard.
Right.
It
This
is
Yeah,
one
I
hard.
was
almost-
really, really hard. There's so many great kills. Like
Yep.
we could be here all night.
So my number 10, I'm going with the bus from Final Destination. You could drop dead. Boom! And she gets hit by that bus.
Yeah.
In the
Yeah.
first
Oh,
Final
I
Destination
love
movie.
that.
First one.
I love that kill. Like I
Yep.
said, I could have gone with the dance routine. I could have gone with the tanning bed. I could have gone with the fence when it cuts
Oh, yeah.
Jonathan up. I could have
Yeah.
went with all of those, but the bus is one that I think we often forget because we've seen the movie so many times. And once you've seen a movie so many times, you get almost desensitized and you forget how you felt the first time
It
you
was
seen
such a
it.
shock.
That was just like a
Yeah, like
Yeah.
holy shit!
Yeah, and, like,
Yeah.
It came out of nowhere.
it like gave you a fright because it was just so random.
And
Yeah.
that was
Yeah,
done.
sudden.
That was done back too before we have had, because like that's something we see a lot more, I think, since then. Those like spontaneous kills, the like
Yep.
surprise kills. We didn't have, I don't feel like, as many back then. That wasn't, I don't know if you want to call it a trope, but it wasn't something that was used as much. Whereas now you have a lot of these like especially opening kills of movies. They always have these big things, but back then it felt like we didn't have as many. Plus, I mean, obviously we were all a lot younger. So,
Right.
Yeah.
True.
I was still
So, yeah.
pretty young.
I'm going with bus, and like I said, it could be any of them, but bus is the one that stuck with me the most. What's number 10
Great
for you,
one.
my love?
So funny enough, mine is also from Final Destination 3, and it's the tanning bed that you talked about. Just like
Oh, yeah.
the claustrophobia of not being able to get out of that tanning bed, and then
Mhm.
it gets on fire like that, like had me like holding my breath the entire time, like being stuck in something. Like one of my biggest fears is being like buried alive. Like
Yeah.
that freaks me out. So that it's kind of like the same concept, like but you're burning alive, and it takes a minute. Like that's gonna be painful. So that one really stuck with me.
I wonder if we
Yes.
nowadays, you're now in 2024. I wonder if we could get like a tanning bed death now in 2024. With like a fiery tanning bed death.
I don't know.
I wonder if that's something that could happen now
No,
in 2024.
I know they have emergency shutoffs.
Mhm.
And I don't know
Yeah.
if they did or didn't back then, but I know they do now. But I'm sure that, like any electronics, though, there could still be shorts. Things could still,
Oh, yeah.
go
Anything
haywire.
could
So I'm
happen.
sure it
Oh,
could still
yeah.
happen. Yeah.
I mean, freak
Yeah.
accidents happen all the time.
What if someone wanted to kill them? What if someone wanted to unlive themselves
Yeah.
inside of a tanning machine? You never know. Crazy.
One of the things about-
that would be a horrible way to go.
It would be a death.
Yes,
Yeah.
You could definitely choose a better way to go than that.
Yeah,
That's
like
all I want to say.
something
You
less
can choose.
painful.
For anybody out there listening, you can choose a better way than that.
Yeah.
But don't ever do it. Love yourself and love your life.
Yes.
Don't do it.
Yes. Don't do it.
I feel like-
This is a great time if you need someone
Yeah,
to talk to.
we're here.
We're
We're not promoting it. I
No.
promise.
Don't do the tanning bed.
Yeah,
I know, like,
no.
one of the things-
nothing. None of that.
Yeah,
One of the
love
things I
yourself,
thought-
love the people around
People
you.
love you.
If you get too low on a dead serious note,
Yes.
come to
Yeah.
us. We will be
Yes.
there.
Definitely.
Heck yeah.
There's always
Uh,
someone.
Yeah.
One of the things too, I think that made that kill special was how long it took. It felt like it was excruciatingly long. Like it wasn't like
Yeah.
a real quick, like bam. It was like what's happening,
Like
and
they're
she's
stuck.
gonna die.
Yeah.
Yep, and it just kept kind of going on and on. You're just like, oh god.
Yeah. And one of them's name was Ashley too. And I totally
Ashley and Ashlyn.
I totally had that fuzzy like jumpsuit. I had that in every freaking color.
That was her and Cecily.
Yeah.
You guys have seen
Oh,
Cecily in the
nice.
chat. That's her best friend. That
Yeah.
was them in high school.
I love it.
Ashley and Ashlyn were Ashley and Cecily in high school.
No,
Easily.
no.
Easily.
Not that bad.
Oh.
I wasn't like that.
The first time we watched it, I was like,
Okay.
hold on, before
Kidding.
we get to you, I just seen where'd it go?
Yeah,
Leslie just became a member.
Oh, nice.
Thank you so much,
Thanks,
Leslie. We
Leslie.
appreciate that so
Awesome.
much. If you go to our membership videos, you'll be able to see a script reading my daughter and I just did. And this weekend, I'll be putting up an actual monologue that I wrote for the upcoming film Psychasthenia.
Mhm.
So thank you for becoming a member. We appreciate you so very, very much. It really, really means a lot. Honest to God, thank you so much.
Yes.
Sorry, those always jump to the front of the line. Those always get put up there right away because we appreciate it so much. But Kainan, you want to give us your number 10?
My number 10. Oh, hold on. I'm trying to word it correctly. Tina's death from Nightmare on Elm Street, 1984. So
Yeah.
Nice.
that was
Iconic.
early. It was not only was it iconic, but like for me, like a lot of us, we were pretty young when we saw this movie, and it's just the theatrics of it. Once again, how long it lasts. It's super bloody. And
Yes.
I always, even when I've rewatched it now, I still always feel for that boyfriend, being in the room and seeing it happen and being helpless. Like,
Yeah.
it does a really good job of kind of putting you in his shoes as well. So it's like, not only are you feeling for her getting killed
Right.
and the scariness of it, all that, but you're also feeling for him in
He's
the
like,
moment
shit,
too.
I'm gonna get blamed for this.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a feeling
go with that one.
we're going to talk about Nightmare on Elm Street again in a little bit. But
More than
before that,
likely.
Jordana, let's get to you with your number 10.
So my number 10 is from The Collector, and it's the boyfriend Chad's death when they're getting down and frisky and the collector's in the corner and the knife goes through his hand, and then the swinging thing slices the fingers off, and then he gets pushed in a bear trap. Like, it's I think The Collector has so many creative deaths, but
Yeah.
that one was just like,
They're all
that whole-
visceral, like all of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
and
for sure.
so well like thought out. Like, it's a great slasher movie, but like even I wanted to go so much as go to The Girlfriend too when she gets pummeled into the projector, because it's like a sequence, but I think his is a little bit more
Mhm.
intense with a bear trap to the head. So
Yeah, for sure.
It's such an underrated movie too. It's so
Yeah.
really
Both
underrated.
of them.
I love
Yep.
both of
Yeah,
those
both of them are
movies.
so
Yeah.
good.
so good.
Yep. And it's so heartbreaking that they even started shooting a third, and
Oh, I
then
know.
they didn't finish it, and then pulled the plug on it. Like, that's so brutal.
I wanted that so
Yeah,
bad.
we both
Me
Yeah,
too.
me too.
so excited
too.
for that.
A lot of these deaths, I do want to say real quick, they're how they affected me.
Yeah.
I may
Yeah.
not have iconic kills on this list, but they're
Yes.
either how they affected me emotionally,
Yeah.
personally, with quotes
Yep.
I still say to this day. So that's what I was going for here. So when you see maybe like some guy being hanged, like wall art not on my list, there's a reason
Yeah.
for that.
Okay.
Yeah, it
knock
wasn't
off
for me. It
now.
wasn't always the most brutal. Like, I didn't
Right.
purposely try to say, oh, this is the most bloody or the most
Right.
brutal, but it was like my
What they mean to
favorite
me.
for a
Yeah.
reason.
Yes.
Yeah.
All
There's
I
a
gotta
reason.
say is
Check it out,
you
Ray.
better not come for me for my number one. That's all I gotta say.
Mm-mm.
You know how the cat Tobey Maguire surprise No Way Home? I think they're going to do the same with Matthew Lillard for Scream and keep him. I would love that. If they are going to do it, that's how they need to do it,
Yeah.
right there.
Yes.
Yes, we did watch Streets with Christina Applegate. Yes, we loved that one. We haven't got to watch Bomb City yet,
Mhm.
but we did watch Streets, and we did very much enjoy that.
Streets. Never heard of that.
No,
It's a horror
Me
movie.
neither.
No, just
Oh,
it's
okay. Okay.
psychological, I guess.
Yeah.
Very fun though. The family from Ready or Not. That's another great
Ooh.
movie.
Yeah,
Um,
that's a great scene because it's
Go
one of
follow
those
them.
cold open almost type of things.
Yep.
Mhm.
Final Destination 5 when the guy
Thank
wins
you.
the lottery and his hands get stuck in the drain.
Oh.
Yeah.
Two,
When the
Final
guy-
Destination 2.
When
Yeah.
that guy gets in 5, he gets sucked in the bottom of the pool.
That's 4.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Oh, did I say 5?
Yeah.
Yeah, 4. Like that
That's the
goofy
thing
guy
of-
that gets
Fuck
sucked
him.
to the bottom of the
That's
pool.
the thing about Final
That's horrible.
Destination. They're all fun kills. Like, they have
Yeah.
such fun kills.
Well, 4 is probably my least favorite, but that kill, I was like, that dude deserves it. Like, he was
Yeah.
such a shithead.
Yeah. No, thank you. For real. Leslie, it means a lot that you joined. We
Yes,
really
absolutely.
appreciate you. Ain't seen no one who looks like me in a Final Destination. I'm good. Thank you. Tatum's seen the script reading. I appreciate that.
But they still know
Um,
how to like go on your fears. Like again, the
Absolutely.
log truck, I still
Yep.
get over. Like
Yes.
I'm not following the log truck. Like they know.
See, this is a rumor I've been hearing a lot about. Danielle Harris returning and doing another timeline in the Halloween franchise. If they're going to do
Yeah,
another
there's
Halloween
rumors.
franchise timeline, that's where I'd want to be.
Yeah.
One of the writers, was it the writer or director? I forget which one, but came out and said that he was interested in doing it too. Like I've heard that there's a few of them, including Daniel Harris, that have a whole proposal put together that they're presenting. So, you know, there's talk that it could be a series that they're proposing or a movie. But
Okay.
we know that they're talking about doing a series, so maybe it's a series that they're. Because I mean, how good would it be to do, you know, a series and it focuses on the Cult of Thorn and goes more
Right.
into that whole, you know, all of that with a series. So
It could definitely make it for a more excitement. You know, kind of get
Yeah.
that backstory finally. Maybe 6 will be a little better for me then.
Stop it.
yeah, it's the
Um,
only way I could really see you doing a series. Otherwise,
Yeah.
like, what are you gonna do for a whole series? Like, just have Michael continually running around chasing people? Like,
It would have to be
you
that.
have to, to do a series. It's got that, or the Halloween 3 angle would work good for a series too.
Yes.
Oh, because that one could be every year. You know, different cities every year.
Every kind of
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
could do all
And
kinds
Grim
of different
says,
things. Yeah.
My number 1 has to be Your Death from The Bride of Killer Pinata.
Yeah.
That was fun. It was fun to film that. It really was. Michael's back and he's a Big Mac.
A
Well,
Big
So,
Mac sounds
we will
good.
go up to number 9 now, and that'll be you starting us off, my love.
All right, so my number 9 is from Sinister, and it's not the one that you're probably thinking of. It could have been the lawnmower one if it would have been what made like the jump scare. But the one that really had me on edge is when they get pulled into the pool and they're on the bottom of the pool, you know, tied to the pool chairs, and they're just drowning. And then you get a
Oh,
of the villain in there, Bagul, and it again, that's something like drowning, suffocating, stuff like that. It gives me that like
All
I can't
done
breathe.
practically.
Yes, and they all
Those people were really tied down to those lawn chairs
They
and
were.
pulled into the pool.
Yeah, and people,
That's-
they had people going down and giving them air. I was like, who? I
Wow.
don't
The guy
know
that
who
played-
signed up for this,
Yeah.
but I would have been like, no, thank you.
The
Please
guy-
run me over with a lawnmower.
The
instead.
guy that played Bagul was wearing weighted boots at the
Yes.
bottom of the pool. And
Oh,
they were bringing him
man.
oxygen and feeding him oxygen. Like
I don't think
everything in
Wow.
that movie there was no digital effects in that moment at all. It was all
which
filmed.
is amazing.
Yeah.
But
That's
like
awesome.
just knowing that my life is in somebody else's hands like that
Yeah.
freaks me out.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yep.
terrifying.
Definitely. Yep.
What about you,
Right
Kainan?
there
What's
with
number
you.
9 for you?
Let's see. Number 9. Oh, it's me. Jaws, Quint's death from Jaws.
Yes.
Yes.
It's a beautiful kill. It's a beautiful death. It's a meaningful death. And that's something like a lot of the kills aren't always like on my list aren't always meaningful and like with characters that you really care about. But with Quint, I mean, he's like the heart and soul of that movie in a lot of ways. He's a lot of what makes that movie have so much flavor. And you're just like, oh no, you know, you don't want him to die, but it's also like gorgeously shot. You really get
Yeah.
to see Bruce and all his horrible looking like special effect looks, but it's still just an awesome death. Very iconic.
For sure.
I love it.
Absolutely agree. What about
And
you,
I love
Jordana? What's number 9
sharks.
for
I
you?
love the ocean. So
Oh, that's why I like just go in the ocean just a tiny bit, like to get my
Yeah.
feet wet. That's about it.
Fuck that.
Not going into.
I grew up by
Ocean
the
is
ocean and
terrifying.
swimming around the ocean. So yeah, sharks and just things that we don't know of that are in the ocean, like all that stuff. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Some
No,
of my
thank you.
favorite.
What about you, Jordana? What's number 9 for you?
So number 9 for me is going to be when evil lurks, and it's the dog scene with the daughter. That
Oh God.
was
Yes.
like, for me, I like sat up on the couch and I was like, what is going
Yep.
on? And then it kept
Us too,
going, and
yep.
I'm like, what?
Yep.
So
I
just
couldn't.
feel-
I knew they were going to go there. Like you could see it happening, and you're
Yes.
still like, they're not going to do it. They're not going to. Oh my God, they're doing it. Like,
And then when
oh,
that's
wow.
that's the thought too, is when it was panning
Breathtaking.
and it was like the whole kitchen, you're like, it's
Yep.
and even if they do, it's gonna be a glimpse. But the
Yep.
the length of it was
Yeah.
Yes.
Through the
I
whole
mean-
fucking city?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Driving
Yep.
through the whole freaking city. And I
that
don't
movie.
like-
Like there's 3 kills in that movie that are like 3 of the most iconic.
Yeah.
Like the only reason
Yeah.
I didn't pick any of them is just because it's so recent.
Right.
And I'm like,
recency
I
bias.
don't really pick. Yeah, I don't generally go with things like this recent stuff because
Yeah.
I'm like, I gotta wait until I see how it sets with me 10 years or whatever. But yeah, those 3 kills, the 3 major ones. I don't want to spoil the other 2, but wow, just
That one
movie.
sat. That's why I picked
Wow.
it, because it sat with me, because it literally, like, that was one of my most like natural, oh my god, reactions of 2023 was watching
Yeah.
that movie.
Yep.
I was just
Yep,
like,
me-
and
that was number 1 for me. That was my
Yep.
number
Yeah.
1 kill of last year. Yeah.
Yep.
That
I
was one of
actually
those,
did
like,
a list
Yeah.
of my
Oh,
top
shit,
10
what is happening?
moments.
Yes.
it's like, oh shit, and then you just kept saying it. You're like, oh shit,
Yeah.
when's
Like,
it gonna stop?
like get that.
Don't shoot it.
Get that.
Yes.
So my number 9, I went with a movie that I don't hear a lot of people talk about really, and this death made me really, really sad in this movie, and it was Kaylee from Oculus. That death really bummed me out in
Yeah.
that movie. You're really pulling for these kids, you're pulling
Yep.
for, her brother to finally get out of what he thought was his own psychosis as a kid, to come back and this happened to him with the lesser glass still being there. And then you get that final
Yep.
kill at the end, and you're just like, oh, come on. Like, no, like Mike Flanagan, you bastard. Like,
Nobody
how dare
sets
you?
it up.
Love
Nobody
to play on
sets
those
up-
emotions.
Yep, nobody sets up characters and deaths the way Mike Flanagan does. He
No.
really makes you feel them in every project he's ever done. Like, you
Yeah.
really feel all the deaths, like they matter.
That's why
Mhm.
he's
Yeah,
one of the
that's
best
a
in the
tough
game.
one.
Like, he's so
Yeah,
great.
that one
Yeah,
really,
love
really,
Yep.
that one hurt me.
Yes.
Yep.
Before we get to the chat real quick, I do want to remind everybody that March 22nd through 24th, Ashley and I will be at Horror Hound in Cincinnati. We'd love to meet you guys. We'd love to shake your hands.
We won't be there the 22nd, but
Oh, they'll be the 23rd and
We'll-
24th.
yeah.
We'll be there for the weekend. Like I said, would love to meet you guys. Love to shake your guys' hand. Love to, be able to come in contact
Mike
with you guys.
Flanagan is going to be there.
Good luck pulling me off his ankle.
Whoa.
And then
Yeah.
July 19th and 20th,
That's cool.
we will be celebrity guests at GhouliCon in Kentucky, Covington, Kentucky. So
Yeah.
hopefully some of you guys can make it out. We're going to do a panel about making film, and we're going to be premiering an exclusive clip from our upcoming film, Psychasthenia. So very excited about that. Like I said, this weekend I'm going to film a monologue for our members, so they'll be able to check it out. And then Chloe and I are going to film an actual scene from Psychasthenia that people will be able to get world premiered for them at GhouliCon. So we hope you guys can make it out to those.
Mhm.
I don't have a list offhand, but I'll throw some. Oh, Dice, if anybody could throw random kills out there, it
Yes.
would be you, my friend.
Let's hear this list.
A girl gets killed with an umbrella and stitches.
Ooh.
My list is just some of my favorites.
Oh yeah, that is a great kill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
That
stitches.
is a great kill in Stitches. Yep.
Imagine having Alice Cooper shooting at you through a leather clad like Terminator. See, I knew, Dice. I knew you weren't going to
Monster
disappoint.
Dog. Yeah, I don't think I've seen that movie.
Mm-mm.
The baseball kid in Doctor Sleep.
Oh, that one was brutal.
Oh my
I felt
God.
so bad.
Oh my God.
favorite
I
sequel
forgot
of
about
all
that
time.
one.
I did
Like,
too.
is it gonna
Oh, man.
hurt? Oh,
I
no.
hope
That
so.
was man.
That was
That would
brutal.
almost. That might have gone on my list if I had thought about. I didn't think about
Yeah.
that one.
That's
That
a
one
There's
great
so
one,
affected
many
me.
that I'm sure
Big
I forgot
time.
about too.
Because, like I said, Doctor Sleep, my favorite horror sequel of all time.
It was
Yep.
amazing.
So
They
good.
did such a
Incredible.
good
Much
It's
love.
Absolutely. It's perfect. Like
Yeah.
to me, it's a perfect sequel. It
Yeah.
marries the book and what was done with the original movie, The Shining. Like just marries them so well.
Yeah.
And you know,
so good.
if somebody went in and watched Doctor Sleep without ever seeing The Shining, that movie would still make
Oh
sense.
yeah.
So
Sure,
work.
there's Easter eggs
work.
and stuff like that in the third act, but you could go into Doctor Sleep and just have a great time and not be like, well, what does this mean? What does that
Yeah.
mean?
Yep.
They
And
still-
Rose,
Yep.
Rose the Hat is such
So
an
sexy.
amazing villain.
Oh god, she's amazing.
Yes.
Like she is the epitome of a strong female
Yep.
villain that you are genuinely scared of.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
she's just
Yep.
the epitome of perfect as a slasher. Not even a
100%,
slasher, but just a
100%.
villain.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right, so now we are
seriously,
up to
one of the
number
best
8.
villains, regardless male or female.
Yeah.
Like one of the
Mhm.
best
100%.
villains.
She
So.
almost won my Maniac Madness.
She did win mine.
Yeah, Maniac Madness, which will also be taking place in March, guys. We will
Yeah.
be taking
I'm excited. We got to
32 of our favorite villains and pitting them up against each other in a March
Oh, how
Madness style
fun.
bracket.
We're gonna do.
So-
we're
How
gonna
fun.
do
It'll be
the
fun.
pull the.
Yep, we'll be doing our list poll through Instagram Live at the end of
Ooh.
February, and we'll have a date. We're gonna put probably 120 villains in there, pull out
Wow.
32, and those are the ones that are going on the list.
Mhm.
So
Wow.
That's awesome.
we're gonna gonna have some fun with it.
Yeah, we'll have the brackets available.
Yeah, we'll have the brackets available for you guys, PDFs, emails. Everybody can fill out their own bracket. Come along and play along with us.
It's always a lot of
it's
fun.
a blast when we do that. So we're very excited for you guys to come and be a part of that. But Kainan, you want to start us with number 8?
Didn't you? Okay. I don't know how your order is going.
Yeah, me, Ashley, you, then Jordana.
But didn't Ashley go? Did she?
No, she did number 9.
Yeah, I did number 9. So then you'll
Yeah,
start,
we all did our number 9.
You'll start,
so
number 8, and then Jordana.
Oh, I see. So the first person starts a different person
Yeah.
at a time. Okay, because that's why I'm like, I keep getting confused. I'm like, am I like not paying attention? All right. One of the most iconic kills, and it's hard to not put it higher. But like with my list, I put things more of just personal favorites, like we were talking about for different reasons. But Leatherface's first kill in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, just with the clunk, the sound, it's so visceral, it's so fast, it's so sudden, like it's dirty and grimy. It's just like, to me, a beautiful, like I call it horror art, like horror film art. It's a
definitely,
like, if you love horror, the art of it, like nothing gets much better than that moment in that movie. So yeah,
I've often said if Texas Chainsaw was written and directed today, it'd be an A24 film.
Yeah.
That's in total art.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. There's even layers, like there's tons of layers. I know. I've never really kind of. I agree. It's clumped in with slashers, but I feel like that's probably more to do with what has happened with that franchise as it's gone on. It's become more of a slasher franchise with the later on, but with the sequels. But like the original, yeah, I agree. It doesn't feel slasher at all. So, oh no.
What about you, Jordana? What's number 8 for you?
We lost you guys for a second.
Oh,
you're back though.
Back just in time.
Yeah.
Do you want to give us your number 8, Jordana?
Sure. My number 8 is from Intruder, 1989, I believe, and it's the butcher scene with the guy that's in the meat department, and it's the butcher saw that saws his face in half. I love Intruder. Intruder is such an underrated slasher. It's just so gory.
I've never seen that. I've
You've
never seen that movie.
You need to watch Intruder.
I gotta see that now.
It's it's cheesy, but the kills are amazing. There's Sam Raimi's in it. Bruce Campbell's in it.
Yep.
So good. It's campy. It's fun.
From?
I think it's 89. If I'm correct. I could be wrong. I didn't write it down.
Fantastic. So my number 8 is one that I've just screamed at the top of my lungs throughout my life for no reason whatsoever, and it's I Can Hold My Breath for a long time. Richard's death in Creepshow. Yeah,
his laugh gets me every time.
I love that, and to me, that's such a scary way to die too. Just being buried up to your head and having the tide come in.
That's
being completely helpless.
Yeah,
and how slow that death comes on. It's like it takes probably an hour, at least, of like,
well, depending how bad the tide is too, it could take up to like a day, to completely cover your head.
And how far out it was when he started.
And claustrophobia, drowning, and like sea creatures gnawing at your bits,
Yeah. So for me, it's definitely Creepshow. Richard's death. I Can Hold My Breath.
God, I love that movie.
And that also gave me one of my scariest moments of all time too. And I don't know why I've talked about it a lot on this channel, but when Ted Danson's character is in the water and he looks up at that camera and he's like, "I'm gonna get you, Richard. I'm gonna get," like, as a kid, that I felt like he was looking into my soul, and I was like, "I'm not Richard.
I
Please
love
don't get me."
when they come back as like the wet zombies and like they sound like they're still underwater.
It's so awesome.
What a great fucking movie.
Yeah.
Such a great
God, I love that movie. It's one of my favorite. It's one of the most fun horror movies.
Oh yeah.
Like, to me, it's just so fun. It's colorful. It has that comic book
feel,
color grade and stuff to it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, what's your number 8, my love?
So my number 8 is from Ghost Ship, and it's the beginning where everybody gets sliced in half by that cable, and then they just, they slide off of their bottom part. I was just like, wait, what just happened? Like, they're having this good time, they're on a cruise, and then they just get sliced through, and that little girl,
she's looking up at him.
Witnessed all that, and she, like, how traumatic, like, she's the only one left, like, I don't know, that just really left an impact on me, was that beginning kills, I should say, because it killed everybody.
Yeah.
All I can say is
most
that
people
might be
remember that
higher
movie.
on my list.
Most people remember that movie from that kill. And there's so much more that goes into that movie.
Do you remember, like, when they go on the ship and there's, like, the food and
they think they're eating
it. The
maggots all over it. I always remember that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So gnarly.
So gross.
All right, real quick, we'll catch up on the chat. Monster Dog is a terrible movie. I bought the Blu-ray for it. Terrible in the best way. The No, Monster Dog. Yes, if you guys want merchandise, please go get merchandise. That would be awesome. I would love it very much. Dr. Sleep is kind of a pedophilia thing. You know what? I've thought of that too because of him and Abra, but I think it's more the Shining connection between them more than anything. Yeah. But I could see where people
would get that.
Yes, I'm not trying to slam you for saying that because I get it. The first time I watched it, I really between Abra, the little girl, and Danny. Yeah. Like, even the dad's like, what are you doing? You're a grown man. This is a little girl. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, but there's nothing. If anything, it's almost like a fatherly, brotherly.
Exactly.
Like, the way he treats her, the way she is to him. There's no, like.
I would love to get a
I think you have to have a twisted. You got to have a twisted mind to see that. I don't think that in any way they come off as being like anything sexual at all between the two of them.
See, I don't know. Like, I just feel, I look at it from the father's perspective. Like, if this guy was trying to talk to my daughter and coming to my house and trying to get, I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm
not saying the dad wouldn't have questioned it. Right. I'm just saying in the movie, the way it's portrayed, there is nothing like that.
No, there's definitely no sexual
between the two of them. It is totally. It's just like it goes back to the original The Shining, where what's his name, the old man, talks to him about The Shining. Yeah, it's the same as them. It's just simply a little girl. It is. It's meant to be like that same kind of, because it even shows early in the movie, like him talking
to Dick, like, still.
Yeah. So, like, that's all I felt between the two of them. I don't think it was anything, but yeah, as a dad, you're going to be like, what is this?
What the fuck is going on?
This is a grown man. Yeah. I would love to see Abra's story continue. Oh,
I would love to see Abra.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Even seeing her come back in the new what was the new TV show with Mike Flanagan did that we were watching?
The Fall of
the actor,
Fall of the House of Usher.
Yeah.
The actor who played Abra came back in that.
Yeah, she was great. She was great in that. She was the thing that just broke your heart at the end of that. Just absolutely. Yes. That is talk about an iconic kill like that's recent. That is iconic, man. That is painful.
Loved it. A girl gets turned into a Cabbage Patch Kid by a demonic little girl, then bursts into flames. I need to see this movie.
That sounds fun. What movie is this?
I love the name of it.
One?
Demon Wind.
Demon Wind.
Oh, Demon Wind.
It sounds like a gnarly fart.
Casey's boyfriend in Scream.
Yeah.
How come we can't like more than once? I feel cheated. Thank you, buddy. A bit of a spoiler because it's someone new. Corn cob holders and table. Okay, Thanksgiving. Yeah. Good kill.
That scene broke my heart. That was so sad when he's like, "What do I do?" And it's like she's like her insides are out. Like, what do you think you do?
Yeah, you nothing.
There's nothing you can.
Yeah. You're talking about at the end when he goes in. Yeah. The corn cob part had me busting up. But what an interesting kill, because it starts off and I'm like laughing as a horror fan with the corn cobs and all that. But then you're right, when the boyfriend comes in, it's heart wrenching. Like the way that
it made me so sad.
And what he says. Yeah.
You can just see it in his face, like he's just like complete. Oh,
that's a good kill when you can go from like in one, like literally like 30 seconds or a minute, like take you through this whole range of like emotions in one scene. Like
That's when you know you've done your job right.
For sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Demon Win has nothing to do with Satan farting. Very disappointing.
Darn it.
Damn it.
Zero skull. So Jordana, do you want to start us off with your number 7?
I'd love to. So, kind of going off of Casey's boyfriend's kill, I'm going with Casey Becker's kill in Scream because when I first saw that movie, I was not expecting Drew Barrymore to die or be the first kill, and then to have the part of her getting stabbed, and then the family, and then her in the tree. I just think it's iconic, and it's just such a kill that you don't get. I feel like it doesn't get talked about enough in the Scream franchise. So Casey Becker.
Well, I felt so bad for the mom when she's like, on the phone, like, oh,
I
it's
can
so
hear her.
heartbreaking. Yeah.
It gets, the older you get, the harder that
It's
scene
so
gets
hard.
too.
Yeah, like I guess, and now that I'm older, it hits me more in the feels because when I was a kid, like it was reversed when I watched it. So yeah.
You want your mom, and then you're like, oh, God.
Right. Yeah.
So
once
for me,
again,
number
I'll save
7
my
is gonna be-
comments for higher on my list.
For
You
me,
guys are
number
stealing
7 is
all
a
mine.
little different. I'm going with the Halloween franchise. Now I could have gone with Wall Art Bob. I could have gone with Karen's death because that was unnecessary and stupid. I could have gone with the nurse death in Halloween 2.
Oh, that's a good one. That one.
That's a good one. I like that kill.
Yes.
Me too.
But what I did go with is my favorite kill in the franchise, and I think it's such an amazing kill in the franchise, and it is the opening kill from Halloween Ends. Little dickhead Jeremy getting thrown off the banister, hitting that ground, giving us the start of
to call him a
Corey.
dickhead.
He was a dickhead. He was fucking with my man Corey. Like
He was. He very much was.
he
And it was
a kid, but that
extremely
a dumb, dead
shocking.
dickhead kid.
Surprising.
Really?
It was actually, in my opinion, the only really good thing in that movie.
It was
Like,
awesome.
to me, that was the
when
best
I
thing
seen
of that movie.
I was like, oh,
Yeah,
that's where we're going.
I was in. The minute I saw
Yeah.
that, I was like,
Yep.
all right, we're doing this right
Yep.
off the
This is
rip.
where we're going.
Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
I
then,
think that's it was partly what made me feel so disappointed with that movie is it's like it starts off with such a bang and it felt like Halloween.
Literally.
Like that death
literally.
felt Halloween. And then
Yeah.
it just kind of like it started turning from that point forward into something that wasn't Halloween.
Right.
Yeah.
So what about you, babe? What's your number 7?
My number 7 is from the collection, and it's the nightclub massacre.
Oh, God.
the opening.
Again,
So
this
good.
is somewhere where you're trapped and you can't get out, and you're just getting piled over. Like, how scary would that be to be stuck in that nightclub? Like, it freaks
Terrifying.
me out. And
And
like
what-
you're
And
getting
it's so
crushed,
vicious.
Like, oh,
It's
yes.
so vicious.
Like, and they just started off just like that, and I'm like, okay.
I think another reason that death was so impactful to us is because that's kind of like a combine turner. And we had a friend that
yeah.
lost his son trying to clean out a combine
God.
turner.
Well, he
Oh my
was
God.
in it.
He was in it
They-
trying
they-
to clean it out and he didn't shut it off. And when he got the jam out,
Yeah.
it turned on and our friend lost his son that way.
God.
So
Oh
hard.
my
18 years
God.
old,
Yeah.
too young to go. And
Dude.
so a death
Jeez.
like that, you watch that for the first time and you kind of get this little piece of PTSD
like,
in your chest. You're just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, but
Visually seeing what you've always mentally thought about. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, that was a rough one for Ashley and I both. We both had to take a breather for a second after
Yeah.
seeing that scene. Like,
it just that
you know,
just like
hit
punches
a little
you in
close
the
to
gut.
home, So I couldn't even put that on my list. I'm glad that you have the power to talk about it. I don't, my love. Great job. What about you, Kainan? What's your number 8?
Let's see. We're number 8 now.
Yep.
No, we're at 7.
Oh, 7.
7, yeah.
Okay. Final Destination 2, the log death scene. I think you mentioned it a little bit earlier, but yeah, I mean, to this day, I cannot be driving on the freeway and see a semi with logs on it and not get over into the other
Yeah.
lane. I just can't. And I grew up on a lot of road trips and in areas where you see a lot of logging like that. And I've always thought, like, what if those things fell off? And then when I see that movie as a teenager, it was just like, that's what it would be like.
Yeah.
So
Living
good.
PTSD.
It was
Yeah, it's so good.
horrible.
Yeah. Nessie's here.
Hey,
Hello, Nessie. Thank you for stopping in. Casey from Scream. Ashton, what's up, my friend?
Hey, Ashton.
Everybody saying hello, being kind. I appreciate that, everybody. Everyone push that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel. We're so close to 5,000. Please push that thumbs up. Share out to your friends. We got about 250 more to go. Or we're above that now. We're about 200 to go. and we'll
Nice.
be at 5,000. So please keep spreading the word. We appreciate it. It means a lot to us. This
Oh
is
yeah,
something we
dice
love to do.
rolling. I'm right there. Phantasm's my favorite
The
horror
Sentinel
movie.
Orb.
That
Oh yeah.
yeah, that's a great kill. Like I should have thought of that one.
Pete Davidson and Bodies. I
Oh,
love.
so good.
I love.
I've
how
never
you
seen
don't
it.
Yeah, how you don't understand
It's
it.
so
at first.
underrated.
Oh, I'm not gonna spoil it. You haven't seen
I
it,
know.
Jordana?
Don't
I haven't.
I'm not.
Is
gonna
it
spoil
good?
but
Say nothing else.
It's fun.
It's so
It's
underrated. It's super funny.
It's
Okay.
funny. Like it's fun.
Yeah, it's more funny than it is horror.
I've watched it. I have no desire to do that again.
Yeah.
But I wasn't upset after watching it. Like, fuck, I wasted my time.
Yeah. Or
Well,
like
it's one of those movies too that once you've seen it, you know the twist and there's a few
Yeah.
twists throughout it, and it just
Definitely.
doesn't have
it won't
a
hit
It won't hit home.
rewatchability.
Yeah, the second
again,
time.
no,
Because
Yeah.
you already know what happens. It'll be ruined.
Yeah.
Go into it
Yeah.
unspoiled,
Yeah.
Jordana. 'cause
But
if
the
you know
ride
the
of it is
ending,
super fun.
It'll bum you out.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm down.
All right, so we are up to number 6. That'll be me starting us off in a death that genuinely brought tears to my eyes. We have Screaming to Save Your Kids, Lee Abbott's death in A Quiet Place.
Oh my God.
That was
Not wrenching. Horrible.
and just the way
Yeah.
I love you.
I know.
Always
Yep.
love you.
Because
Yeah.
the whole
Like-
time she thought he.
well,
she
even the
hated
brother
him.
told him, he's like, "Do you even love her
Yeah.
anymore?"
And he just didn't get a chance. And
Yeah.
that's what's so heartbreaking about it. He never got a chance to talk to her after that. But the
Tell
fact
her.
that he tells her in that moment, oh my God, like that's
Goosebumps.
that's one of those scenes that make me wonder, like when people are like, I don't know what the big deal is about that movie. I'm like,
Did you
really?
watch
Like
it?
that, yeah, that's one of those things. I'm like, did you not finish it? Did you not like understand what happened? Like what?
Right.
It just, man, it broke me seeing that part. 'Cause I know that I would do the same. I know
Yeah.
if it was my 3 kids, I would do the exact
Oh,
same.
for sure.
I would have at least tried to hit the thing when it jumped at me. I would have at least gave it a valiant effort. But
Yeah.
and what makes that scene
Yeah.
even more heartbreaking is his wife has to watch from their cameras in the house.
Mhm.
She's in pain. She's
Ugh.
just delivered this baby. She had
That
a nail in her
whole
foot.
scene.
Yeah,
Oh
the
my
whole
God,
third act
like-
of A Quiet Place is the opposite
Insane.
of,
Yeah.
it's a
It's
heart-wrenching.
insane.
I'm very excited for the prequel.
Yeah.
We
me
finally
too.
got a trailer for it.
I'm excited.
Yeah,
Very
for
excited.
day one.
Um,
Yeah, it looked.
Yeah.
And I mean, with the cast that it has, like,
Yeah,
Lupita Nyong'o is incredible. Like,
Mhm.
I have really high hopes for that.
it
And
is
it's
gonna
nice to
be
see
a
them put
banger.
money behind it. The fact that
Yeah.
they're gonna run that during the Super Bowl, like that's huge. That means
That
they're
is.
actually pushing this movie, and like, yeah, that makes me excited because horror doesn't get that kind of
I
treatment
was
very
gonna
often.
say they don't
And
do
we got
that.
2.
They don't do that kind of stuff with horror
A
normally.
Quiet Place has been announced to run their trailer during the Super Bowl, as well as Maxine. So
Yes.
we are getting both those trailers.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
the Maxine. I'm really
yeah.
curious. I'm really surprised that Maxine trailer is going to be in the Super Bowl because it's like, what is it, $1 million for 30 seconds or more than that, right? 2 million, I
Yeah.
think, for 30 seconds. So like the fact that they're going to spend that for Maxine, that like blows my mind.
Yeah.
They must be
That's the
thinking
faith
that
they have in it.
Maxine can do like. They must be thinking that it can do like 100 million or something because like
it
the other
probably could.
ones, as much as horror fans loved it, it still only made like, what was it, 30?
Yeah.
Pearl made
I
like
think-
30 and X
I think
made
with
like
this one,
30.
the other cast members they got are really going to push us out to non-horror people.
Yeah.
So-
And,
That's what I
and
mean. They
we've been
must be
waiting for it
thinking
for
that
so
they're going to
long.
make more
Yeah.
than what
'Cause
the
what-
other ones have made.
What's the musician's name that's in it? Her friend?
Pink
Halsey.
or not Pink, Halsey. Yeah.
Halsey.
Oh.
Yep, you got
Yeah.
Halsey, you got Kevin Bacon, you got a
Yeah.
lot of
Stacked
you know,
cast.
Yeah.
non-horror.
I'm curious
people.
how big of roles that they like, how big their roles are going to be in it.
Right.
Like the fact that they've been talking about them though since the beginning makes me think that both of them
It's
are
gonna be
actually going to
something.
play
Mhm.
pretty significant roles, not
Right.
cameos.
Right.
Yeah.
So
So-
what's your number 6, my love?
My number 6 is Brad Dourif saying, "There's someone in your back seat" from Urban Legend.
Urban Legend.
That
Ah,
is another
That one.
one that played on my
I
ears.
love that
Still-
movie.
Still to this day, I look like if I'm driving at night, I check my back seats. That freaks me out. And
Yeah.
Every time.
he's listening to
That's
Total
like-
Eclipse
that's
of
like-
the Heart. and she just gets, decapitated. You just see him in the rearview mirror. It's just
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, it
Yes.
creeps
That's
me
right
out.
there with checking the shower curtain when you go in the
Yeah,
bathroom.
it's just
like the same
they
type
play on your
of
fear so well.
yeah. Like
Yeah,
ever
so-
since, like even from a little kid all the way to an adult, you still those things are.
Yeah, well, because
Yeah,
when
they
that
just
came
stick
out,
with
I
you.
couldn't even drive yet
Right.
when that movie first came out.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't have my license,
Yeah.
so even
I think I was
now,
like
as a
18.
grown adult, yeah.
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 No.
But that's
Yeah.
what's so cool about that is because, like, even before that movie came out, I was driving, and yet at night, you still always, it's something that is instinctual. You just always
Yeah.
had that fear and thinking someone could be behind you or whatever. And so then when they put that in that movie, it's like I was saying about the log truck. It's the same kind of thing where it hits so hard because it's something you've always thought about. And now being able to
Absolutely.
visualize it, you're just like, oh my God.
Right.
Yeah.
So fun. So fun.
So my middle child, her car seat used to be of like Cinderella.
Cinderella.
And it was like, the face and everything. And I was driving
Oh,
home
God.
one night. I got staffed early because I work night shift. And so I was driving home at like 11 o'clock at night. And I just got a glimpse of that face and about shit my pants. Like, it scared me. Like, that face. Yes.
I would have went off the road. I would have like
I-
literally been
I
like,
did.
Yeah.
I was like my heart like just sank into my stomach. Yes.
oh God.
One time I was walking into my work office, and every morning I would open, so I had to turn all the lights on.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know that the night before, someone had taken one of those full-size standees. It was like a standee of Batman, and they had put it in the office. It was like an advertisement. Right? I had no idea it was in there. So I turned the lights on, and all I see is this figure of a person standing there in the office. And like, I just like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh. Very,
It's like
very
fight or
startling
flight,
moment.
Yep.
like kicks
Yep.
in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I found out that day Batman's not very strong.
The cardboard's all bent. Yeah.
So what about you, Kainan? What's your number 6?
I got to go to Scream. Casey Becker. She shares my same last name, and just I had the biggest crush on Drew Barrymore. I swear to God, the only reason I wanted to see the movie was Drew Barrymore. She was in all the advertising. I had watched all the interviews with her prior to the movie coming out, and it was like such a big deal. This new horror movie with Wes Craven that is starring Drew Barrymore, and then it's like the first scene. You're thinking all the way to the bitter end that she's gonna still live. Somehow she's gonna survive this. And then when you see her like take her last breaths, and like you said, her parents, like the way that whole thing, and hearing her on the phone is just devastating. It really
Horrible.
did. And to this day, Scream is still one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah.
And like, they don't get much more significant to me in a movie than that cold open. And everybody since then has been kind of ripping it off, so to speak, like doing similar cold opens. And it was a lot of ways, it was kind of the first one to really do it that way.
Yeah.
So,
It's iconic. Yeah.
Wes
love
Craven
that scene.
definitely went for the swing. Like,
he swung for the fences
he did
on that
because
one.
Drew Barrymore was the biggest known name in that entire movie, and he killed her off right away. It was like, okay.
And then Halloween
love
was
it.
like, let's do that with Laurie Strode.
Yeah.
And it didn't work.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Well,
That was.
Oh
His
yeah,
brother.
and, H2O. H2O, right?
I still
Or
Resurrection, but I still love that
Resurrection.
movie. It's like one of
Yes.
my
Resurrection?
pleasures. I freaking
I love Resurrection.
Oh,
It's
Yes,
so
Ashley.
fun.
Yeah,
I
love it.
Danger
It's so-
entertainment. Like, it's so much fun.
I say I like it because
I'm not
it's
hating
fun.
it. It's a bad movie, but it is fun. I'm not
Listen,
gonna lie.
without Resurrection, we would never have this.
Let the dangertainment begin now.
Yes.
Like I said, so bad, but so fun.
That's exactly it. It's terrible, but it's fun. It is a fun movie.
It's like a
And
comfort
it
food
only
for me.
could have existed. It could only exist in that time in our history. Because, like,
Yes.
you know what I mean? Like, there were so many choices in that movie that were so of that era.
I love it.
So Jordana, what's your number 6?
So my number 6 is kind of a weird one, but it's from Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003. And it's when Aaron kills Andy when he's on the hook.
Yeah.
Because that rocked me Like that was because it's so
and you
sad.
actually finally see it too, because like in the first one they cut away, like you don't see any of the gore, so it's like you only had to think about what it would look like. They show you it in that scene.
And like Andy was through the ringer, like he gets his leg chopped, like completely sawed off, and then he's hanging on this hook, and then to have your friend come in and just like you're begging for her to kill you.
Please put me out of my misery.
Yes, and the blood, and like when his toes hit the piano keys, and like the blood on her afterwards, it was just I was terrified the first time I watched it, so that one I had to throw it on there.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Good call.
I
love that movie.
The boyfriend's face when he looks back and he's got his face on it.
Yes. I love that.
I love that movie is finally starting to get like the respect that it deserves, because I've always said that it's one of the best remakes. Like it's one of the few, in my opinion, that deserves to exist. You know what I mean? Like it's good enough on its own to exist.
For years, he did not listen, and then finally he was like, all right, it's not as bad as I remember it.
And then we watched it for our Versus episode.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, banging.
And I was like, wait, what? What did you say? I was like, I told you.
When it came out, though, I was that cynical punk rock kid that was like, man, why do they call their own original shit? Why you got to bite on my remakes, man?
Yeah. We all were, and I think that's why that movie just, but now as we all getting older and it's 2013, Evil Dead 2013 kind of has had a similar fate. Like when it first came out, there was a lot of shit talking. People were like, "Oh,
I loved it."
Whatever. And now everybody's like, "Oh my god, it's amazing! It's the greatest sequel." And it's like, it is strange how it's aging like fine wine. And to me, that is my favorite. Unless you count The Thing, but The Thing is not exactly as a remake. But unless you count The Thing, it's my favorite remake. So
all right, we'll catch up on the chat real quick. It Follows, the opening kill. You don't even see the kill, but the condition of her body makes your mind.
The leg.
Her leg.
That's another one where she's calling her parents, and she's like, "I'm sorry, I was such a shitty dad," and like like she knows that something's about to happen to her, but we don't know what's about to happen to her because we just see her distraught and running around.
That movie.
It's almost so much. It's almost so much better because you don't see the actual kill.
Yeah.
You just see the ramifications of it after.
It's just funny because that movie won our viewer poll for our next movie review. So Shutter Island is first, and then It Follows will be coming after that. And then the universe is so funny. So we got a very good friend, CP from Willie Screedio. If you guys aren't subscribed to him, you should be. He's fucking amazing. And we just filmed our In Defensive episode with him, and it was on It Follows. So I can't wait for you guys to check that out.
Yeah.
Who needs to defend that movie?
The discrepancy between
people have gone to shit on that movie in the last 2 years from when it first came out. I don't get it.
Weird.
Yeah, it's
I don't get it either. I know it was loved for the longest time. Like it's strange. That's another one of those movies that I love that movie.
It's just recently too that it's getting like this.
I love that they're finally making a sequel to it too. Like that. That's fucking exciting.
Yes. The movie Cujo with the Killer St. Bernard. I think they should do a remake of Cujo. I think this is the Killer Labrador as the killer dog. I would love to see it.
Yeah.
I would love
to see it. But what could you really do different?
Right. I think that
that's the only reason a movie like that's hard to remake, because it's like, what would you add to it? Like, what could you really do different? It's still just a dog, a killer dog. Like, you know, that's the thing about sequels. You got to do a sequel that's got something to add to it and tweak that, you know, otherwise it's like, I don't just like, we don't need to always remake a movie just because it's old, unless you have something new to add to it. That's my issue with Christine, like the remaking Christine. And I'm like, are you just going to modernize it? Because if you're just going to modernize it, I don't even want to see it.
If they're going to modernize it, they need to use a 2014 Hyundai Santa Fe.
I think they're going to do it. I think they're going to do a Tesla. I think they're going to go the Tesla route. They're going to go like an AI kind of vehicle thing.
Yeah. The opening death in the kid. When you first see her, I saw her face.
I'm not
even going to
lie. I had
what
that
movie?
I had that on my. Do I still have that on here?
The Ring.
Wait,
the opening
I
kill.
think I took it off.
I
had that one on my list. Yeah, because she was like, you should have seen her face, and then you get that glimpse of her face.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
That scared the
So
shit out of me.
Startle. Yeah, that's startle.
If I leave something in the back of my car, will give me this message. Check your back seat. Yeah.
for
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
Always.
Ashley does that too. I don't like it. American Werewolf in London to me.
What?
I love that movie.
Yeah.
Same.
I think that it's perfect the way it is. I think it has the best werewolf transformation in the history of cinema. I
There's no
think
way to. There's no reason, no way to remake it. It's like
Right.
Jaws.
If you
can't
try
remake
to,
Jaws.
they tried to do a sequel with Paris, and it didn't work for me. The CGI,
Horrible.
Paris is much more comedic though. Like it's almost like it leans into the comedy side. It feels so different. It doesn't, to me, it doesn't feel like at all like, you know what I mean? It's like its own, a totally own thing. It kind of reminds me of Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, where they're totally completely different movies.
Yeah.
I mean, they would be kind of cool to have a female. Like,
we
have like ginger snaps and stuff like that. But
if
like,
they made it, I would watch it.
Yeah.
But I would be extremely cautiously optimistic.
I mean,
I just would rather you make a brand new. Like a brand new werewolf movie. Like I'm dying for a new werewolf. We got 2 coming this year.
Yeah.
Thank God. But like werewolf movies are just so few and far between. I just don't want to see it. Like, that's fine if you want to do, more in that franchise, American Werewolf. If you want to like do 30 years later, 40 years later, whatever, do like a Halloween almost kind of thing. But like, I just don't, I'm not a fan of a remake with something like that. Cause to me, it's like Jaws. You just don't touch it.
Yeah. Don't do it.
You guys need to check this out. Sweet and Spooky does Table Screams where they read.
I'm excited for that.
I'm very excited for this one. Dice is going to be part of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake episode. I'm very excited for that. Of a killer Ronald McDonald movie. Here's my thing. And I'll say this. I'm not against any horror movie being made.
No, I mean.
But you have to know what you're doing. If you're going to make a killer Ronald McDonald's movie.
It cannot be.
It can't be serious.
You cannot take it
You
seriously.
need to have fun.
We were talking about this with Blood and Honey before the stream. Like it's got to be fun, or no one's gonna like it. It's just I don't know.
Gonna flop.
But they're making this whole universe where they got the Pinocchio one, the Bambi one, and then if they're like Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, the first one, they're gonna have no fun in them, and they're just these miserable movies, and it's just completely, to me, misses the point of why you would make a horror movie about that.
You can't have these characters and have it be serious. Like it's Winnie the Pooh and Piglet. Like
you got to have fun.
It's got to be fun.
Yep.
Like
and like Ashley said, even though we didn't give it the best marks when we did our review on the movie, the Mean One, the Grinch movie.
Yeah.
At least they knew what they were doing.
Flaws to the Mean One, but it was still fun.
It was fun. They had fun. They had jokes.
I agree.
Levity.
Yeah.
That's how you want to make those type of movies. In our
you can feel that they're having fun while making it too.
Yeah.
It's like almost like an undefinable thing. Like sometimes like a bad movie, like Treevenge. Treevenge is a perfect example to me of like it's dark and bleak and fucked up, but you could tell they're having a blast making it. You could feel the humor in it. Like Blood and Honey has literally zero humor.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, how are you going to have a Winnie the Pooh running around killing people and have no humor at all? How are you not going to drown someone in honey? Like, how are you not going to have bees sting someone to death? Like, how are you not going to do these things?
Yeah.
No, I'm 100%.
Have Piglet cowering for a little bit.
Everything you're saying, I completely
I love Piglet.
Completely agree with.
Have Winnie the Pooh get stuck in a tree, man.
Remake.
Like coming after to kill you, he's stuck in a tree and he can't get his ass out of the tree. Like, how do you not do these things?
Right.
I live in Melbourne, Australia. That's amazing.
Yeah,
Nice.
Our homie Amy lives out there.
Bucket list.
What are you guys' idea of an Australian version of Scream? I think Australia would be a good place. I think, like I said, because you have a lot like Bollywood films that do their own type of script. The Bollywood Scream was great. I thought that was amazing. I had a lot of fun with that. I think, I would have no problem with Australia doing an Australian remake of an American film. I see nothing wrong with that. America does American remakes of foreign films all the time. So why not try to expand that audience a little bit and try to get it out there?
But it's generally a language thing. It's generally a language thing. Like the only reason you generally remake something from another country is because of the language. So like in Australia, they speak English. So it's kind of like, and honestly, Australia is putting out banger after banger right now. They
was
don't
just
need to
gonna
rip
say,
us off. If anything, we need to be paying more attention to them.
Right.
let's acknowledge Australia for Talk to Me, Sissy. What's that?
Yep.
What
Oh,
was it? Wolf
love
Creek?
Sissy. God,
So
Sissy
good.
is so underrated. That was
Yeah.
one of my top 10 of 2022, and like not enough people
Mine
talk
too.
about that movie.
I'm
So
like,
fun
Agreed.
and good.
You
Like,
know, I agree.
I'm a
good.
Sissy pusher to anyone. I'm like, you want
All
to watch
right.
a good movie? Watch
I hate
Sissy.
to bring this up, but I got like 40 minutes before I got a bill. So
Okay.
All right. Yeah. We'll speed it up.
we gotta dig
We're up to
back
number
in.
5. You want to give us your number 5,
Yeah.
babe?
Absolutely. My number 5, this is a movie that gets a lot of hate and I don't understand it. And it's high tension. And it's the staircase kill with the dad where he is stuck in between like the banner and he takes that dresser and just crushes his head.
The stepdad.
Yeah.
What movie?
It's so
What
like
movie?
gory and like I was just
High
like
tension.
high tension. Yeah.
Oh,
See,
Oh,
I
I
always called the
forgot about
stepdad, and
that
people are
kill.
like, "That's her dad." I'm like, "Stepdad, staircase."
Oh, I was like, that's why I gave you side eye. I was like, oh, what?
It's a stepdad.
I didn't get your joke.
that
at
movie has
all. That's
no
why-
humor.
But it's funny. 'cause
You
people
found the
DMing
only
me.
possible humor in it because that movie is not funny.
We did it in defense of with our buddy Monty G.
Yeah.
And I had people DMing me like, that's her real dad in the movie, right? I was like, stepdad. Stairs, step.
Joke.
They were like,
They're
no,
like-
Ken, you're just an idiot.
They're
That's
like,
the problem.
what? Yeah, like that's what you got side
Just
eye.
an idiot.
I need to
No,
watch
but
that movie.
That movie is so gory, and I thoroughly enjoy the movie. Even the twist. Not everyone
It's
likes
a French
it, but
extreme. It's a
I
French
like it.
extreme, so it's very, very savage.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. I
it's
need to
not
watch
for the faint
that.
of heart. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not.
You've never
harder.
seen it, Jordana?
I haven't seen it. No.
Listen, you need to. What was the other one we said she needed to watch? Bodies, and
Yes.
High Tension. But the thing with High Tension, though, again, it is
This is
very important. You go into this movie unspoiled.
yeah, you don't
Yeah.
want to know.
You don't want to know the twist.
Yeah.
So
Them is another one of those. Them is another French extreme one that's
Yes.
the same way. Like you don't want to know anything. If
Yeah.
you know the twist in them,
It's
Just
gonna
ruins it.
ruin it.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
100%.
Good. I try to stay away from it because I want to watch it so bad.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't
Them
even
is
watch
probably
trailers
my-
for it. Go
I think them
completely
is
blind into
probably
this
my
one.
favorite of the French extreme
Same.
because them is super brutal, but there's something kind of fun about it still.
Yeah.
Nothing fun in
And
this movie.
and in my opinion, them is the best like home invasion movie we've ever seen. Like I feel like
Yeah.
everything else is just like pales in comparison.
Right.
Mhm.
So High Tension's your number 5?
It is.
All right, Kainan, what's your number 5?
My number 5 is Michael Myers' very first kill. That to me I fell in love
Yes.
with that movie from the very beginning. Like I remember being pretty young when I saw it. Not like I didn't see it when it came out, but like I was probably, I don't know, I was pretty young still. And the way it feels from the very beginning, it feels like Halloween. It feels cold, and just the way they do the pan up the stairs, like just everything about that scene, like it's just so iconic, so classic to me. It just feels, like I said, just feels like Halloween. It's just one of the most
Yes.
iconic kills. It isn't my number 1 as far as my favorite, but it's one of the most important for me, I think.
Absolutely.
As a kid,
in
I loved it
horror.
because I got to saw boobies.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there's that too.
course.
I was trying to leave that part out, but yeah, there was that too.
As a kid, I was like,
And then I got to meet her and have her on my first horror movie. And it's like, God.
Did you really?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
We had her on.
That's
after
funny.
the
That's
airport.
awesome.
I did. I got a hold of her and she
Yep.
agreed
And
to do
she
it.
was really down for it.
I
She
was
was
so
super sweet,
excited.
super amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm always
She was-
surprised the people you guys are able to get. I'm like, man, you guys are killing it. Like
Thank you.
always getting these people over here. I'm like, this is awesome.
It's
Like
a
I know
blessing.
channels that are like way bigger that struggle to
Yeah.
get some of the guests you guys get.
Right.
So I think
That's
it's
just
awesome.
because I can talk and Ashley's pretty. I'm
Yes.
kidding. She's way smarter than me. Please don't take that as a slight at her.
Oh,
She's
slight.
beautiful. She's smart. She's hardworking.
Side eye
Full of
again.
passion.
Ashley, just smack him.
So how about you, Jordana? What's your number 5?
So my number 5 is a recent movie, and I talked about it a little bit. It's Thanksgiving. It's the parade scene with the ship through the driver's face, the turkey getting his head cut off. Like that whole parade scene was sheer just
Chaos.
ridiculousness, and I loved it. I was here.
I
in the theater.
laughed so hard, man.
Yeah.
I loved it. I literally felt like a little kid, like like a little kid at Disneyland or something. I literally was like giggling, laughing.
And we saw it in a full theater, and people were like,
Yep.
"Oh!" And just
Yeah.
like the reactions
Yep.
was so.
It's
I think it heightened it, but
Oh,
I think-
absolutely.
I mean, I could have list all the kills in
Yeah.
Thanksgiving because they're so good, but that
Yep.
one,
Oh, I love
Chef's
that
kiss.
movie.
I love
I
it.
saw. I think I
love
saw it at
great
least
theater
6
experiences
times.
like that.
Yeah.
yes,
I think I
So
saw
for
that
my
movie
number
more
5,
after than any other movie.
Yeah, I'm going with one of the most brutal franchises for my number 5, and I could go with the shotgun carousel from Saw 6, the reverse bear trap from Saw 7 when we finally see it actually work,
Oof.
the Venus flytrap. I could go with any of those,
Oh,
but I'm going
God.
with Timothy Young. I'm going with the body the torture rack.
Yeah, the rack.
yes.
That's just gnarly, and you see
Oh, where
he's,
it's
like,
turning all his
twisting.
limbs.
You hear it
Yeah.
cracking.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh
It's
my
just-
God.
Like you
One
know
of the
it's
most-
gonna happen, but you're hoping the whole time that jackass is gonna, like what is slow ass motherfucking Jeff is what
Yep.
the Dead Meat Channel calls him. Like you're like
Yeah.
you keep thinking he's gonna stop it just in time, and just nope.
No.
I will say though, as a
No.
parent, I love James. I love Chelsea. We have a very good relationship with them. I actually just had a very deep conversation with them about channel analytics and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
But what I will say, as a father, he is very
fast,
fair-paced, motherfucking Jeff, compared to how I would have been
Yeah.
in that same situation. So I just
Mhm.
want to throw that out there, James. and
Well,
Chelsea. You know I
yeah,
love
but
you,
it's
you know I
not
respect
just
you.
that scene. It's not just
Yeah.
that
Right.
scene. It's literally
Like, just get it over
everything
with.
everything he does in that whole movie is like slow. And it's like if he just decided I'm not doing it, but like every single one, it's like he
Mhm.
just does it just a little too slow. Like
Yeah.
plus
I
it's
wouldn't
just
have
funny.
saved
The
any
way,
of them.
the
I'd
way
have been like,
James Yeah, the
Karma.
way James says it though is what's
Is
so
hilarious.
funny about it.
Yeah.
I love
that's
it.
What's
For
so
real.
funny.
I think we should return to the real house, not a replica. Why do you think the owners let them film? It was money. I don't know. I think that there's a little mix of everything there. Obviously, you had the C word that I won't repeat on the channel because they will take my money away.
Mhm.
But they
The pandemic. You can say that.
yeah, the pandemic. But the big thing too is we've talked to people like Ashley and I were blessed to go to the house. And which is my first horror movie, my favorite horror movie. We got to go
see
there
Michael Myers' house
We got to go to
too.
Michael
You didn't-
Myers'
you didn't-
house.
Why don't you ever say that one?
Because I'm talking about good stuff. And
Excuse me.
the people
What?
at the house, like there are people that live there, and they're like, we are a
Yeah.
family here,
Yeah.
and
Well, just be respectful.
and that's what we said. I was like, I just want to shake your
Just
hand.
like
I'm
when
not
we-
going to ask to go in your house.
when
I'm not
we
going to do
went
any of that. But
Salem, I had to go see Max and Danny's house.
Mhm.
Like it's just
Yeah.
something I had to. We were there.
and there's people that live
If
there,
there's
Yeah.
an older couple that live there, just be respectful.
and the older couple was telling
Exactly.
people they had like this thing, and they were like, people come to our house and just
like
come
go
up and try
on
to
their
walk on our porch,
and
and
like why?
like
I stood out in the road to get my
Yep.
picture in front of it
Mhm.
to say that I got to be there.
Yep.
Yeah.
brain
And that's
damage.
the
another
problem
great
with a
movie.
lot of that stuff is that people always ruin it. It's like,
Yeah, someone
Like
always
all-
ruins it for everybody else.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because
And that's
the
what
one
makes it
is
so
super-
hard. As one of the owners, it's like, that's why I understand why some of them literally like have changed the way it looks from the
Yeah.
outside, or like, because it just,
Yeah.
people
And again,
like,
you're harassing people.
crazy.
Yeah, like this
Not
is
cool.
This is someo's home now.
Right.
Yeah.
Mandy, when they burn her alive in the bag in front of her husband.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Keep
that movie.
Making horror movies about Bigfoot is not the right one. I would love to see an actual aggressive Bigfoot hunting movie.
That would
Me
be pretty
too.
cool. That would be
I
awesome.
have to
that.
watch it now. Are you talking about Brain Dead? If so, yes, you do.
Yeah.
Great.
Love
Terry
Brain
White's
Dead.
mother,
Brain Dead's
mommy
incredible.
issues
man.
or religious trauma? Anyone?
Both.
Yes.
Both.
Yes. That's another one that I really did like the remake too. I know that what's her name didn't
Ooh.
pull off Carrie very well, but I thought the movie was fine.
That death
Cameron
was
Halloween
one?
Kills.
brutal.
But which
what's her
which
name?
remake?
What's her name?
Chloe Grace Moretz.
Yes.
Chloe Grace Moretz.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like that
I
remake.
liked that one too. The one before that though, I thought wasn't very good.
Right. The made for TV one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it?
See, you know
is
what?
it me or?
Jaws, to me personally, I like Jaws 2 a lot. And I think people should give Jaws 2 another chance.
That's
I love Jaws too.
Yes.
I haven't seen
Hey,
it
there's
long enough to
Cecily.
remember.
Hey. We were just talking about you earlier, love. There's Ashley's best friend right there.
Yeah. He says we're the girls from Destination 5 when we were in high school.
Final Destination 4.
Or 4. No, 3. 3.
Yeah, 3.
Yeah.
All right, guys,
we're all over the place.
We are up to number 4 now, and that'll be Kainan starting us off. Sorry, guys in the chat, I love you. We're reading them all, but Kainan is on a time restraint, so that's why we're trying to hurry up. I promise you, we're reading them.
I hate that I'm on a time restraint.
But yes, we're up to number 4.
It's not my number 1 because it isn't the most fun, but to me, it's the most just brutal, visceral, surprising kill that's ever been done, and it's Charlie's beheading in Hereditary.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know anyone that saw that movie that didn't just literally it's like all the blood just drains out of your body, and you're just like, did that really just happen? And the way it isn't just the moment it happens, but everything after that, the next
not telling
10 minutes, the next 10 minutes or so, it's
just going to bed.
Him just sitting there for a moment, and then he drives home, and then you hear him wake up, you hear her walk out to the car, and you know what's coming. It's just
Toni Collette was amazing.
Devastating. Yeah,
she is a national treasure. She's amazing.
I love her.
I always argue that is why, that right there is why, whenever I talk about the Grammys, and I hate, or not the Grammys, the Academy Awards, the Oscars, the reason I hate the Oscars, it's always, she's the one I always refer to, because I'm like, she didn't get a single mention. If you don't even mention her, then you just completely disregard horror. You literally act like horror does not exist as a genre, because Mia Goth deserved love too with Pearl, but nobody has deserved, and Rebecca Hall with Night House and with a few movies she's done, but to me, nobody has deserved a nomination more. I'm not saying she should have won. It's fine if you don't want to give her the win,
but at least acknowledge her.
But at least, at least a nomination for that.
Right. To show that horror is
worth it.
What do we have to do? Look how much money horror brings in.
It's why so many filmmakers call their movies thrillers, and it sucks. It's why instead of calling them horror, they try to lean away from it a little bit, because you just never see a movie that calls itself straight up horror get anything, nomination, win, anything from the Oscars. So
it is.
Yeah.
All right, what about you, Jordana? What's your number 4?
So my number 4 is from, we talked about this movie a little bit, An American Werewolf in London, the last scene when they're leaving the porno movie theater and he rips the cop's head off, and then people are getting run over in the streets, and it's just madness.
The whole scene
is just, but I love when he comes out of the theater and the guy just comes up and his head's just goes up. It's great, and it's one of my favorite movies, so I had to put it out.
That's a great
I do want to say real quick, Warwick Davis exploding Caroline Williams in Leprechaun 3 doesn't get enough credit. How about that? Fuck Caroline Williams for now, forever. How about that?
You always go there.
I'm never gonna let it go. I'm gonna get a shirt made.
I don't know what the backstory is on that.
Yeah, it's gonna have quotations that says professional, and then underneath podcaster, professional podcaster with the Sledgehammer horror logo on it. Just for you, Caroline Williams.
She's gonna be like, I don't even remember this.
I don't care.
It's like a trauma for you, but she doesn't.
Did she do the show?
Oh no, we had a big beef on the internet, her and I. It was hilarious. It was I didn't even know it was happening. I literally sent her real quick. I'll be very quick about it. I sent her a thing on Twitter, like I do with everybody, and I said, "Hey, do you do guest spots on podcasts?" And she wrote me back, and she was like, "I only do podcasts that have 5,000 followers." And I was like, "That's fine." And I literally sent a GIF of Arnold Schwarzenegger and the Terminator saying, "I'll be back." And I was like, "That's fine. People have their benchmarks. I'll come back."
Yeah.
Well, then my phone starts blowing up, and my buddy Michael Cologne calls me up, and he's like, "Yo, what the fuck, dude?" And I was like, "What? What?" He's like, "You and Caroline Williams." I was like, "What, dude?" I said, "I'll be back." What are you talking about? He's like, "Go to Instagram." I go to Instagram, and she had taken a screenshot of me asking her to come on the podcast and put it up on her Instagram. And underneath it said, "I work with professional podcasters only." And I was like,
what?
Whoa, that today I could go out and buy 100,000 subscribers for our channel if I wanted to. Every single
Wow.
subscriber
What?
we have is organic. We've earned them. We've worked our asses off for them. If you want to listen to our show and say, look, I don't like what they do, this isn't for me, that's fine. I have thick skin. I'm
Yeah,
a big boy. But if you just go out there and say, I work with professional podcasters only, when you haven't even listened to my show,
Well, plus,
was
like,
bullshit.
Plus,
this
you're
point,
dog
I mean,
shitting on a little channel. Like, that's
you're-
fucked
Yeah.
up,
you're,
dude.
you know, she's not even relevant anymore. Like,
Right.
what the hell?
And the thing
Yeah,
that
there's
was
that
the most
too.
funny
There's that too.
is
Love
about
that.
I didn't know
10
who
minutes
you were
later,
talking
I get
about.
a DM from her on Instagram that was like, you can tell your lackeys to back off me. Anybody that knows my integrity knows. I even sent her a screenshot of the text between me and Michael that was like, don't post anything on there, just let it go.
Yeah.
Because anybody that knows me knows that I would never
Yeah.
tell somebody, hey, can you go attack
Yeah.
this person for me?
Yeah.
That's
But did
not
you-
who I am.
Did you tell her you're the one who started it because you
No,
didn't
I
have
just
to
told her. I sent her
broadcast
that
our
screenshot.
conversation?
No, I literally sent her that screenshot. And I was like, you need to get your facts correct before you attack me. And then I was blocked.
Wow.
Yeah.
What
So,
a hoe.
yeah,
not
Sorry.
So
worth it.
when Leprechaun
It's not
kills
worth
Caroline Williams in Leprechaun 3, I'm like,
Which she
first off, don't dox her, don't attack her. That's not what I'm saying. I'm making jokes.
No,
about
she's
living
not worth
vicariously
it.
through a leprechaun.
yeah.
She
We
literally
don't
is
want
a
you to attack
nobody.
anybody.
You can be
Ever.
Like-
you could be a decent human and just be like, no, thank you,
No.
I'm busy. Or just
Yeah.
no, thank you
I
for
don't-
asking.
No,
instead
thank
of
you. I'm not interested.
I've become
being a
very good
snob.
friends with Alex Vincent from the first Child's Play. He played Andy. We communicate often,
Yeah.
and he was not interested in doing the show because he's not huge into horror.
Yeah.
I respected him for saying, no, that's not my thing.
and
Yeah.
left it at that.
Yeah.
That's how you. That's
And we
all
became
you have
friends.
to
He
you
do.
said,
should.
I wish you the best. I hope good things for you, but this is not my thing I'd like to be a part of. I respect it. Thank you so much for being honest with me.
Yeah.
Sorry, I know you're on a time crunch here, Ghost.
All right.
We're up to number 4. Did you give us yours, Jordana?
yes, I did American Werewolf in
Oh,
London.
yeah, American Werewolf. I could pick any movie from movie and kill from this franchise. I could go with the sleeping bag kill. I could go with the cryogenic smash in the head. I could go with Vera getting the harpoon through the eye. But I'm going with my favorite movie in the franchise, Jason Goes to Hell. And I'm going with the tent sex right up through and cutting her in half. That's what you get if you don't wear a condom, kids. So Jason Goes to Hell, my favorite movie in that franchise. Jason steps on that condom on his way to the tent, and he's like, okay, this is what we're doing? So
What if he slipped on it like a banana peel?
That'd be awesome.
So my number 4, I'm going with Jason Goes
Oh.
to Hell. Tent sex kills, literally what I wrote down on my list. Tent
Oh my
sex.
gosh.
So
Great
that's my number 4.
All right. This
That's a
one.
fun kill.
Yeah.
This one is for I guess it's iconic. I feel like everybody knows it, even if you haven't seen this movie. And it's the shower scene from Psycho. You have the welling of the the score. Like everybody knows that. They use it in everything.
Yep.
And just like it's so scary because in the shower you're exposed,
vulnerable.
you're vulnerable, you're naked, and then you're just getting attacked and you don't know by who or what's
It's hard
going
enough for
on.
Ashley because for 18 years she's had to worry about some pervert always trying to look in at her on the shower anyway.
Yeah, he has scared me so many times just like looking in like a creep, and I'll be like, ah! Yeah, like he's such a freaking creepo.
All right, we'll catch up on the chat real quick. I forgot the name, but a guy gets killed by a big monster killing the bar. I'm not sure what that one is.
Huh.
Gremlin.
I'm starting to like you guys a lot. Definitely my time. Oh, thank you, Scott.
Thanks.
Thank you. For real. That hearing stuff like
That's
that means a
nice.
lot to us.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
so awesome.
Already mentioned Casey Becker and Scream.
Uh-huh.
Good call.
Yes.
Years ago, I read somewhere on Jaws 2 was supposed to be another version of Jaws 2 where we see the orca getting into a. Oh, yes. I would love to see that.
What?
Yeah.
How much length does Ghost have?
Not much.
Do you want him
Tina?
to just do the rest of his list then, and then we can?
Yeah, it was pretty
I still
gnarly.
got 20 minutes. I got 20
Okay.
minutes.
Okay. Yeah, that was lame, guys. And again, please don't go attack her. Please don't go on her Instagram, her Twitter, her Facebook, and say shit to her.
She's irrelevant.
Yeah, we do not
Yep.
want you to do
I
that.
was gonna say I don't
No,
even
that
know who she is. So
Yeah, I didn't know who she was until you talked about the deaths that she had, and I remember the death.
She's
but I
the
didn't
main
remember
one
who she
in
is.
Leather. Or
in
not,
Texas Chainsaw Massacre too.
when
Yeah,
he's-
The main
Yeah,
girl in
the
that.
female. Yeah.
that girl.
Yeah.
Yes.
I remember who she
Pete.
is now, but like I didn't know her off her name. She's nobody
Right.
now. She doesn't do
was
anything.
She's
Pete.
not. I mean, she was popular
So-
back in like the.
And like I said,
80s.
I implore all of you. We were not telling you that story to go and attack her. That's not our integrity. She
No.
wants to be that type
Yeah.
of human being. Let
Yeah.
her. The only reason I found out about it even is because my friends were. I had more than one friend text me like, "Bro, what the hell is this shit?"
Yeah.
They were upset because they know that the type of people we are.
If anything, it like gave us.
Yeah, there were people I've never heard of in her comments like, "That's fucked up." You know what I mean? So
it probably got us
That's
followers.
awesome.
So
Right.
really, she did us a favor.
yeah, thanks, Caroline.
Yeah.
Thank you,
That's
Caroline
why I'm
Williams.
saying it actually
And-
gives her more recognition than she deserves by she doesn't deserve anybody going over there. Like she's not worth
Yeah,
our time.
don't do that. It's not
Yeah,
worth it. And like I
no.
said, that's not who we are. We don't want you to attack people. They can live their own lives, and if they want to live it in a dark, shitty place like that,
if you want
let
to be
them.
nasty,
Don't
go
stoop to
ahead.
that level.
Yeah.
Don't do it. We're as a community, we're better than that. So please remember that we are better than that as a community. We don't need to attack people personally or try to dox where they live or threaten their kids
Oh yeah.
or dumb shit like that.
It's
No
a
room for that
podcast,
anywhere.
Like,
Yeah.
Yep.
She doesn't like the podcast.
At the end of the day,
It's her fault.
Yeah.
We're awesome. So
yeah. Well, I like us.
yeah. What about you, Jordana? What's your number 3?
So my number 3 is from the Halloween franchise, and it is the newer one, and it's the only one out of the new trilogy that I enjoy. It's 2018, and it is the scene where the boy and the dad are in the car. They approach the bus, and then the kid gets killed. Okay,
Yeah.
so in the theater, I was like, holy shit, like for him to come back and to kill a kid, I was amped. And the killing of children is not cool in movies and anything, but like that just reclaimed his like badassery. And I'm like, fuck yes. It just set the tone for
I think it all just depends on how you go about killing a kid. You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
You know, like in that case, it doesn't show gruesome, gory, like it's slow motion killing him or whatever. But it's just the brutality of it and makes him scary again.
Yeah,
you know?
And it reminds me of
kid
one
is
from the first.
Taking me to dance class.
My gosh,
I had a great time at dance, Dad.
He
I
had
love that kid.
voice.
Yeah, but like, didn't it remind you of like the first one? And so I loved how it kind of mirrored that in a sense, and then threw that in. So, and it was so quick, but it still was very effective.
Yes,
I love 2018. I think
Me too.
it's a shame
top
to
3 in the
be
franchise.
the next 2, but I love 2018.
Me
Me too.
My number 3 again. I could go with any kill in this franchise, and I'm even talking the remake. In the opening of the Nightmare on Elm Street remake, when you get that throat cut in the diner,
He like decapitates
so
himself.
good. I could talk about Want to Play Skin the Cats. I could talk about Hey Sheila, Let's Suck Face. I can even talk about the Marionette.
I love this shoe.
Oh, yeah.
But Welcome to Primetime, bitch, is always going to be a special place for me. One of my favorite kills of all time, one of my favorite one-liners of all time, our good friend Josh, he plays drums for the band Coheed and Cambria. In his rec room, he has the TV with a head hanging out of as like a decoration in his rec room, and I think it's so badass.
That's awesome.
I'm so
I would be
jealous.
I
am so dope. And when he showed it to me for the first time, I was like, "Dude, I love you so much." Like that's the dopest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Which is so cool is that it was all ad lib too.
Yeah, that was just Robert Englund saying
he
it.
ad libbed that. Yeah,
I've said this before on the podcast. People know when I was a kid, like I would get to the final boss on like Contra, that alien. I'd be like, "Welcome to Primetime, bitch!" Like getting all into it and shit. So I gotta give Welcome to Primetime, bitch, its flowers. It helped to create me as the human being I am, even from a young age. So that's my number 3. What about you, my love?
So my number 3 is from Child's Play OG, and it's "You're an Abomination, John."
You shouldn't tell your friends where you hide these things, John.
He takes the voodoo doll and he just starts breaking his limbs, and you see them like you hear it, and it's just so cringy, and it's like, please stop breaking his legs.
Yeah,
it's so bad, but I love that kill.
Great kill.
Yes,
great kill.
Yeah,
that is a great.
What about you, Kainan? What's your number 3?
My number 3 is the final kill. So Neil's death in Wicker Man, the original Wicker Man from 73. When I saw it, it was like a long time ago, and I didn't know anything about it. It was like I feel like it was just on HBO one night, like late at night. And so like I just was engrossed in this movie, had no idea what was ultimately going to happen. Mm-hmm. And just like you were talking about earlier about these kills that just you feel them, like you feel like you can imagine what a horrible death that would be, and just him burning alive in that and feeling so betrayed on top of it, like helpless and betrayed, and it's gorgeous. Like that movie is just incredibly well shot and directed. Yeah,
Naked dancing.
I
like
love the naked dancing.
fantastic scene.
Yeah,
Fantastic. scene.
it's such a musical. Like that movie is
definitely a horror musical.
and I love musicals too. So.
I actually have an answer for this, Scott. In werewolf franchises, why do you guys think there are more male werewolves than female werewolves? And this is my honest opinion. 1, Hollywood sucks balls. 2, I think a transformation scene is easier for a male.
Yeah.
Exactly, than a female. You're going to get a lot more nudity in a female transformation scene.
The transformation, and I know you don't like Trick or Treat, but the transformation,
it's decent.
I think
awesome.
It looks good. I
love that movie and that scene. I agree. Like for practical effects, like they did a brilliant job. But you do see them.
I think that's the biggest
But you do
part,
still see them topless. Like you do see them topless.
Right.
That's the thing. Like,
I
how could you do it in a PG-13 or a lot of these werewolf movies are PG-13?
Exactly.
Or just don't want to have their main actresses naked. Like, The Howling did a pretty good job of that. Like they had some transformation stuff where you didn't. But yeah, I think I agree. It's harder to do. Plus, when we think of a badass werewolf, especially old Hollywood, it's an aggressive, masculine type of thing. I mean, monsters in general.
They haven't gotten to that stage yet.
Monsters in general, up until really recently, the villains and monsters in general are always males. It's really a more recent thing that we're starting to finally see women in those roles in general. So, and I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Like I love Ginger Snaps. It's like one of my favorites.
Ginger Snaps is great.
Yeah. Ashley, we should do a movie and we should transform.
Yes, that would be so much
fun. Please. Do you guys prefer Halloween holiday themed horror movies or just horror movies in general? I prefer. First off, Bronson, thank you. Yeah, we did get a donation, guys, so we got to get this out of the way really quick.
Awesome, Bronson.
Ooh, baby, ooh, baby, ooh, baby, ooh, baby.
Love that scene.
So again, give me horror in general. There are Halloween themed horror movies. That Cobweb from last year I thought was great. Trick or Treat, give it its flowers. It's iconic. People love it. It's not for me, but a lot of people love it. I've tried. I watched it every year with my girls.
I just love all holiday.
Yeah, just give me any type.
Yeah, I just love horror
in general.
I love all horror. Holiday horror, non-holiday horror, like I love it all. Like to me, there is good movies in every little nook and cranny you can think of. Like there's bad movies too, but there are good ones with every type of angle you can think of at it.
What's up, Cole?
I mean, Thanksgiving is a perfect example. Like Thanksgiving is one of those movies where we didn't have any decent horror movies around it, and now it's a franchise. Every year, watch for the next 3 years at least. Is the word I've heard is they have a 3-picture deal, so there's 2 more Thanksgiving.
I'm here for it.
Yes.
Me too. I'm excited about it.
Kainan, have you seen Feast?
Yeah, the first one. Everybody keeps getting on me to see the sequels. I haven't, but I love the first one. It's just I'm not a big sequel guy. Like I have so many movies to watch and cover. It's hard to cover the sequels because then you get into this deep, like Hellraiser, like you know what I mean. So,
speaking of which, Frank Common and Hellraiser.
Yep.
Good call.
And Feast was actually created from a TV show, Project Greenlight, by Matt Damon and Ben Affleck.
I did,
and it's actually a really good horror movie.
Kirk, that was 6 for Silver, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
that was one of my tops of 2022.
We had the main actress from that on my first horror movie, and she was an absolute gem. She was amazing.
I'll have to go back and look at that one. I haven't seen that one.
She was great. She was amazing.
I love that movie. Love that movie. So
Harry Nipple's not as hot. That's exactly what the problem is with Hollywood.
Hollywood doesn't.
Don't hate on Harry Nipple.
I will say this: in Hollywood,
hey, I'm here for the Harry Nipple. I'm here for it.
I'm here for more guys hanging dong. Kid Cudi did it magnificently in X.
If you guys want to see
when it just rolled out, I was like, holy, what is that? Like, what?
I am not bisexual. I am not gay. I'm a straight guy, but I can admire art. And holy fuck, Kid Cudi, that was a work of art there, buddy.
I'm just here for fairness, man. I'm just here for equality. Like, if I'm going to be okay with women running around naked, then I'm going to be okay with men running around naked.
When you have boobs and a bunch of hairy bush, like the
people
whole
freaking out,
80s, like.
I'm here for
like
boobs.
all these guys are like coming down on Saltburn. I'm like, dude, just deal with it, guys. Like, how many women have we seen running around completely naked for years? Saltburn is a phenomenal fucking movie, and like, if you can't handle watching a dude run around naked, like come on, like,
You guys need
like,
to watch The Greasy Strangler. If you guys want to see more dong in movie, watch The Greasy Strangler. That movie, I just watched it the other night, and it's not for everyone, but you have to watch it. There's Butch.
I know a
there's
movie
boobs.
where you can see a dong get ripped off and thrown through another guy's head. If you want to see my dong get ripped off and thrown through another guy's head, watch Bride of Killer Pinata, because you will see my dong get ripped off and thrown through a guy's head. So make sure you check out Bride of Killer Pinata if you want to see Ken Dong. So we're up to number 2. This will be me starting us off. I could go with John's death from Child's Play. I could go with the garbage man's death from Child's Play 3. John Waters getting his face melted. You got your mother's eyes from Curse of Chucky. But I'm going with the one that genuinely scared me as a kid, which is probably actually the scariest moment of any film for me because it stuck with me so hard as a kid. The conveyor belt, doll eyes in Child's Play 2.
Yeah.
As a kid, that scene fucked me up. It scared me. It was scarring. I had nightmares about humans with doll eyes. It fucked me up. Genuinely fucked me up as a kid. My favorite horror franchise of all time is Child's Play. It's all rooted in that moment. Child's Play 3 is my favorite in the franchise. That moment, though, stuck with me more than probably any horror movie besides a recent one we just watched that I can ever think of. So Child's Play 2, the eyeball death, that's my number 2. What about you, my love?
Great pick.
So this one has already been mentioned, but it's Tina's death in the OG Nightmare on Elm Street. Like, like we said, it's just iconic. You have her floating in the air, not knowing really what's going on, and then you have these marks on her chest, and she's getting pulled up the wall, and her boyfriend's like, "What the hell is happening?" And and then he runs away because he's like, "I'm not getting in trouble for this shit."
Right.
And I love that kill. It's iconic. So I had to add it to my list.
What about you, Kainan? What's your number 2?
The way they shot that was amazing too. Like,
they did it. Reverse, amazing.
Okay, so my number 2 is the hacksaw bisection scene from Terrifier. Like, that's more recent scenes where my jaw was on the floor. Like, I could not believe what I was watching. It looks so real. It feels wet. Like, it's that real feeling that it feels like there's a dampness. Amazing. And I love Terrifier 2. And the bedroom scene in Terrifier 2 was right up there. It was right up there with this scene. But for me, I expected going into Terrifier 2 that there would be some stuff that was like crazy. Did not have any idea what I was getting in for when I saw Terrifier the first time. It was on Netflix. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, I've heard some people saying this is a good horror movie to check out. And it's just like, wow.
Yeah.
Love it.
And it's stood the test of time. We'll be getting part 3 this year. So what about you, Jordana?
I'm very excited about it.
So my number 2 is from a movie that we talked about a little bit, but it's Norris from The Thing, the chest compression scene.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of the most iconic scenes in cinema, in my opinion. And I just love when the chest opens and then rips his arms off, and then we get the head and just the whole practical effects. John Carpenter's.
Amazing.
God, I love him.
That is awesome. It's funny because that right there is like in the movie theater when it goes through like all the different like
that's the one that always pops up.
It always has that one on there. That's how how many years later and it's still iconic.
It's still in our intro on this too.
It's still in our intro too.
Yes.
All right, so before we get into our honorable mentions real quick, the franchise as a whole, the first and second Hellraiser are wonderful. Hot take, Hellraiser 2 is the best one. Guys,
I agree. I totally agree.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
If you can watch a movie of a bunch of titties and bush and then you get really mad, you see a guy's ball sack, it says a lot more about you than it does the filmmaker.
Yeah, for sure.
Embrace the ball.
Weird Greasy Dong would be my punk rock band name.
Oh gosh.
Apparently Rennie Harlan had directed 3 Strangers films. Yes, I'm very excited. The first one comes out in May.
So I'm
they're saying 2.
The Drake leak then?
I have not seen the Drake leak yet.
I tried to see it, Ashley, and I couldn't see it.
Very good choice.
You did.
Yeah, they're
see
actually
it?
saying
I did. I was looking for it and I can't find it.
I'm curious. I'm just really curious.
I do too. I need to see it.
Like a horse? Like, is that why everybody's all excited?
Big or does it look weird? Like it's got to be one or the other.
So from what I heard, it's like described to me by Mark from Mark Loves Horror, that it's just like it wasn't hard, but he was just like moving it around and it was wicked long. So
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know.
I knew it had
How-
to be one or the other.
Lucky
Yeah.
bastard. Mine's like a light switch.
Oh my God.
Although I did like Bloodlines. Casey Becker, it still scares me. Great choice at number 2. I took a pick at Spoopy Empire with an art that was wheeling around a whole ass bike. Oh, that's sick!
Yes.
awesome.
Please
Yeah.
send that to us on
Yeah.
Instagram. I would love to see it. Sledgehammer Horror on Instagram. If you have that, Leslie, I would love to see that. Please.
Yeah,
That's
it's tagged on
amazing.
my page too, like because I took the picture.
Oh, that's awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it was amazing. It looks so
Yeah.
real. Like it was so good.
I wanna see it
love
so bad.
cosplayers and
Yeah.
how,
Spooky
like,
Empire
what
was
they get. I
amazing,
love
man.
it.
Spooky Empire was like the best convention I've been to. Like it was insane. The level of
Really?
costumes that people were going
Yeah.
with. Yeah, it was incredible.
That would be dope. Sydney's
Yeah,
reaction
that'd
to
be
CM2.
amazing.
That would be the best part about it, honestly.
Yeah, for real.
For
It
real, that'd
was.
be the best part.
It was. I'm not big on meeting celebrities, so that was actually the main thing we did there. Was just kind of
Yeah.
walk around and look at cool shit.
I
so.
love watching the costumes. We're like
Yeah.
people watchers anyways. It's so
Yep.
All right, so now we are up to our honorable mentions. So that will be you starting us off this time, Kainan.
Okay, so how are we gonna do this? Read all my honorable mentions and then say
do
my
your
number
honorable
one,
mentions,
or
and then
just
Jordana will do hers, and we'll go from there.
oh, and then we'll get to number one. Okay.
Yep.
Honorable mentions. I'm just gonna say them real quick. The chest defibrillator scene from The Thing, Hellraiser, Frank's death in the first Hellraiser, the chest burster from Alien,
Yes.
the face freeze from Jason X,
Mhm.
the sleeping bag kill from Friday the 13th 7, and the canyon jump scene from Cabin in the Woods that I argue is one of the most underrated kill scenes in recent memory. Because like
Yeah.
when he jumps, like for one, we all saw him as this big celebrity, even though when that movie was shot, nobody knew who the hell he was. But by the time it came out, he was already Thor.
Yeah.
So like seeing him die all of a sudden, you're like, what?
Yeah.
That is such a cool, unique scene. So anyway, yeah, that's
He
my
just
honorable
falls
mention.
down that wall.
Yep.
Yeah,
Right.
it's like
Yep.
ooh,
Yeah.
Yep. This
Good.
is not going to be a normal horror movie.
yeah. I love that movie.
Oh, absolutely
Good.
adore it.
It's one of my favorites.
What about you, Jordana? What's your honorable mentions?
So I'll name them real quick. So Train to Busan, when the dad turns at the end, I mean, gut wrenching.
Oh my god. Yep. Tears, man.
Beautiful moment. Love that part. Evil Dead, the remake with the needle out the eye scene in the whole bathroom
Mm.
toilet. Oh,
Yeah.
insane. 13 Ghosts, the lawyer split.
Oh,
Yep.
That's a good
Yep.
one.
I
Did
almost
that
was.
always
Oh.
I
Yeah.
love that too. The play on the
Yeah.
joke.
Yeah, I love it when he's like, "Oh, I was just kidding," and then he's like,
yeah.
and then
So
this
good.
one, I don't think it's considered horror, but I have to throw it in there because it's one of my favorite movies, and it's like dark comedy. Is Liz from Jawbreaker getting the Jawbreaker stuck in her throat?
Stuck in her throat.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's
I used to watch that movie all the time.
It definitely has horror elements.
When
You
I
have
was-
Marilyn Manson having sex with a dead body.
Yeah, when I was
Yes.
a
Well, and the
teenager, I
look,
watched it
the
all
look
the
of her
time.
throat when that's
Yes.
caught too,
And
like
they
Yeah.
find
the
her
look.
dead, and like then when they open up the car and she's in the trunk and she's dead, like and it
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
freaked me out.
It freaked me out too. That's why I wanted to put it on there.
Yeah.
So my honorable mentions, I have Charlie from Hereditary. Just I put it as an honorable mention because I knew everybody would talk about it at some point.
Mhm.
The
Yeah.
Mist, the ending.
Oh, that-
Oh,
Oh
And
man,
I'm not going to go too much
Heartbreaking.
into this
What
one, but if,
what a heavy ending.
yeah.
Oh.
My last honorable mention, if you want to know more about how we feel about this movie, our review will be out tomorrow at 9 a.m. And it is, I'm not
Okay.
going to say what death it is, but it's Speak No Evil. That's all I'm going to say. Speak No Evil.
Oh,
Our review will be out tomorrow
God.
morning at 9 a.m. Check it out. It's a movie that me and Ashley
If
did
you
not
know,
stop talking
you
about.
know.
Yes, if you know, you know.
No, you know.
Yep.
It's so oh my gosh.
Yep. So those were our honorable mentions. So we'll start off. At
And I'm
number
so
one now.
frustrated
I
they're
haven't
making
done
a
my
remake
honorable
of
I'm
that.
sorry.
Yeah.
Blumhouse is
Ah.
making a remake of it, and I don't get
Yep.
why. I just
I don't
get
either.
it.
Because they want to get
Capitalize on the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But who's what was
It's got a good
James
cast.
McAvoy.
James McAvoy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's got a good
Yep.
cast. So I'm hoping that at least the acting will be good, and so like,
Yeah.
Saving Grace.
yeah.
I'm sure that
I just hope
it'll
it's
be
not
much
just a cash
watered
grab.
down, but it won't be as vicious.
Yeah.
But again, watch our review tomorrow at 9 a.m. See how we feel about it.
yeah. So my honorable mention is from Terrifier 2. I had to add the bedroom kill because I'm all about the gore. I love the gore, and I was like, oh, when is this gonna end? Like this poor girl, like oh my gosh, like she's nothing. Like there's nothing left of her. It was so good. I love that.
Yes.
And then the liquid nitrogen from Jason X when he dips her head into it and then just crushes it. That's the only good thing about that movie is that
It's so fun.
Yeah.
So fun.
Dice says, I've seen the League Drake video. Everyone over here losing their shit. And I'm just like, and?
Oh, really? This is like
Right,
that.
Dice.
Ain't
I
nothing.
love that idea.
I've seen it.
I just saw it. I thought it just looked like
Good choices.
a lot of black guys' penises are just bigger before they get hard. It just looked like a normal black guy dick. It doesn't. It's not like spectacular. It's not like that one dude that was sitting on the bed. You know the meme.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There was like a 12-incher. It's not anything like that.
Oh, I just thought maybe it like looked really weird, and I was like, oh.
It's just that it's Drake. It's that it's
Yeah.
Drake.
Exactly.
Right.
You know.
I do believe that Scream 7 is going to be a two-parter where the investigation has seen Sue is dead, and in part 2 they found out he's alive. That would actually be cool doing a two-parter. I like that idea. The missed ending is very heartbreaking.
It is.
Matt, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Matt.
Can't wait to see you soon. Try not to spoil the final scene in Saint Maud. Another good one.
Good one. All right.
All right, so now we're up to number 1.
So
I'm gonna let you gotta go.
I gotta go.
All right, you want to give us the number 1 real quick?
No, it's okay. I'll quickly, if we can just go quick around, like I'll stay for another 5 minutes.
Okay.
I want to
Go ahead,
finish
do your
this.
number.
All right.
This is
My
important
number
to me too.
My number 1 is, I had to add it. It's from Halloween 78, and it's his very first kill. And you can give me shit about it or whatever. You can snore.
It was on mine too.
Yeah, don't let him do
eight-year-old
that.
boy, and he's got his clown mask. You know, it's through his point of view, through the clown mask, and you just see him killing his sister. And it's just like, I just remember watching that as a young child, and I was just like, he just killed his sister.
Yeah.
And then he goes out and he's in the front yard, and his parents are like, Michael, what did you do? Like, what do you mean? He just killed
and
your
that
daughter.
pan, that pan shot as it just slowly goes away, and you're just like left with that feeling. Yeah. Oh, I love that.
It's amazing. It's iconic, and you can give me
the sound, the music, the stings, stings, like
it's amazing. I'm so glad that I have
thinking
you guys
about that
on
movie.
here that you agree with me, because
how tall Michael is when he's walking up the stairs at 6 years old.
Hey, you know what?
Doesn't matter, man.
It's through.
There's a lot of stuff.
But
there's a lot of stuff that
got the biggest hand ever when he grabs the knife.
He had big hands.
Did you not see Halloween when you were young? Is that what's going on?
He didn't watch Halloween.
I didn't watch him.
So he didn't grow up on it. So
he doesn't get it.
First Halloween, so I was like 14 years old, probably.
So I think that's where the hit goes, or the miss.
Yeah.
It's been there like my entire horror life. It's been there. Like it was one of the first horror movies I ever saw, and so it's just always been a part of it.
Something that me and my dad used to watch.
I have never missed a Halloween without watching that movie. In October, I watch it every year. There's never I can't remember. I'm pretty sure I've never had a single October that I didn't watch it. So all right. So my number.
It's like a must.
My number 1. It was already mentioned, but it's just. I don't think there's ever been a scene that impacted me more when I was sitting in a theater watching it than the cutting the cord scene from Ghost Ship, the opening that you mentioned earlier. Like, it's just so sudden, so unexpected. I saw it opening day, the first showing of it. So I had no idea it was coming. It wasn't like now where things get spoiled and you hear rumors like, oh, this movie's got a brutal, no, it wasn't anything like that. And it just completely shocked me. The fact that it's a little girl too, that's the only survivor. And like, just the way they show it, like, kind of what happened, but then the way it's just like the people slowly slide. Parts
and the girl's grabbing for her guts.
It's just incredible. I love the fingers just fall off. Like, it's amazing.
Good call. What about you, Jordana? What's your number 1?
So my number 1 was already discussed, but I do have another part that I could put in. Terrifier 2, the bedroom scene is just Damien Leone is just a horror god. I love him too. I think he's brilliant. His ideas, his kills are unique. And even so, I can mention the mashed potato scene with Barb.
Oh, that
When he comes out and then just shoves him in her
So
face.
good.
Oh.
I love it.
It's always mashed
I
potatoes.
like the
too.
penis chopping off scene
Yeah.
too. With the
Just the tip?
boyfriend. Yeah, I love
Yes.
that scene too.
I love it.
So everybody, I purposely wanted to go last here because I wanted to see if anybody in the chat or anybody on the panel had my number one, and no one did. And this death makes me cry every time I watch this movie. I've seen this movie over 100 times.
Don't say Old Yeller.
No. Every single time Shaun has to put his mother down in Shaun of the Dead.
Oh my God.
How did I not?
That is a great one.
Destroys
That
me
is so
every
good.
single time. After I lost my mom, like it took me probably a good year and a half, 2 years before I could even stomach watching that movie again because I knew that part was in it.
Yeah.
Every time I see that moment though, like when she starts convulsing, he's like, "Mom, please, no, Mom, please." Like he's an actor at that point.
Oh, for sure.
Like it's a genuine great acting moment. So Shaun's mom, Shaun of the Dead, is the kill that impacted me.
That's a great one.
So sad.
That is a really good one.
Great
I
choice.
love that movie. And that's one of the things about that movie that you don't hear anybody talk about is the dramatic, you know, the emotions in that, because it is funny. It's super funny. Like, you know, and that's what everybody focuses on. But you're right. There is some really dramatic scenes, like when he thinks he's losing his best friend, and like that whole thing goes down. Like
when they're in the bar and they're crying together.
Like there's some truly hard
horror.
The only bad thing about that movie, and I've said this for years, is the title. People hear Shaun of the Dead and they think it's a spoof movie. And it is not a spoof movie. It's not like a scary movie, slapstick spoof movie. It's a real fucking movie.
Yeah.
The cool thing is now though that it doesn't even matter because that movie has taken on such a huge life of its own that people don't even think. But you're right. Like, and that's why it took a while to kind of build its following. I agree. I was just talking about a movie on my list this past week that has the same problem, and that's American Mary. Like, I think American Mary is so much better than people realize, but it's just such a bad name. Like everybody just thinks it's, you know, like going to be like, you know, in the line of American Psycho or something.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I thought it was like a sister or a sequel to American Psycho. Like for the longest time, I skipped that movie. So
it's marketing.
This has been a blast.
Yeah,
This has been a blast.
Hey,
I really appreciate you guys having me.
Gone. I want to remind everybody, Kainan's going to
Thank
the movie.
you so
he's
much,
got
guys.
Dip. All his links are in the
Nice to meet
description.
you, Kainan.
Kainan's been putting them in the
I'm
chat.
going to the movies because it's work. I'm not just going because like,
No,
I'm
we
going to
know.
the movie.
We
Like,
know.
I gotta see this so I can cut a review of it tomorrow.
Yeah,
and
no,
stuff.
absolutely.
Have a great night,
Have
man.
a good night. Hope
Thanks,
you like
guys.
it.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
See you, buddy.
Bye.
All right, so Ray says, I'm only seeing Scream 7 if the Carpenter sisters are back. Much love and respect for that.
Yeah.
No Michael Myers 360, no scope from Halloween Kills. Oh, thank you, Leslie. I appreciate it. I can't wait to see it. Do you think they'll return to actual Stu's house or will they use... I don't think they'll actually ever go back there. Honestly, I don't think it's something that'll ever happen. I don't think the homeowners would probably let it.
Sadly.
Yeah.
Huh, I'm shocked. Tatum's is Tatum. Love it, Tatum.
Tricky.
Have y'all seen a movie called Revenge? I've seen the cover and I can see it in my head. It's like the purple writing. I didn't watch it, Killian, because SA is a big thing for me, and that's what it looked like to me. So since you've seen the movie, is it a SA RAPE type movie?
It's like it's not like a super graphic one, like not like a Last House on the Left, but it's implemented, and I'm trying to remember if you actually see anything, but the movie and how it's shot and how she gets her revenge is worth the watch. It's really good. I like that one. It's tastefully done, if you can say that about SA.
Exactly. And you
Okay.
can. I've said that before, and I feel like a weirdo when I say it, but it can be tastefully done. But when I see a title called Revenge and I see a half-naked girl on the cover, I'm like, it's probably not going to be the movie for me.
Yeah, you don't have to see any of it to still know what happened.
You don't have to see it or hear it. Yeah. My number one, The Gymnast. Great one.
Oh, that's so horrible. They did like the scorpion. Oh.
Michael Myers has what the medical community would call Deborah Hill hands. Yes.
I love it.
I love it. I don't believe it was Amber that killed Dewey in Scream. Me and my fiance both think it was Stu that killed Dewey. It could be.
Maybe.
You know, I really think it could
I've
be.
heard that. I've heard a lot of people talk about that.
Yeah.
Love it, Nessie. Evil Dead 2013, The Abomination death scene with the chainsaw and the raining blood.
Oh yeah.
Such a great scene.
Even
Brutal.
when she's like trying to rip her arm out from underneath that Jeep.
Oh,
Yeah.
remember when when she's in that cabin type thing and the blade goes in her kneecap?
Yes.
Oh my God. But
It's
we saw
so
that opening night
brutal.
and I was grabbing and people in the theaters were like losing their shit. They're like, oh
Yeah.
my God. It was so
What I
intense.
love the most about Evil Dead 2013, and I've said this before, guys, so it's not like a broken record, I'm sorry. I love the direction they took with why they're there.
Yeah.
It's not, hey, let's go out to
Me
the
too.
woods and get high and get drunk and fuck all night. It was, you know, like, hey,
We're
our
gonna-
sister's on dope. We're going to help her
our
kick dope.
best friend.
And we're not going to
Yeah.
leave until she's,
She
you
almost,
know.
They
They
died
had-
from this.
They had to defibrillate her.
Oh.
God, I love Lou Taylor Pucci
Oh,
so
gosh.
much. He's so cute.
He's so cute.
He's
cute.
adorable. Yes, our next stream will be February 15th, the day after Valentine's Day. We'll be joined by two of our best friends in the world, that horror couple, to discuss our top 10 favorite horror couples. So who else would we bring on besides them? So that'll be next week.
Yeah.
No, thank you. We appreciate the work that you do, Tatum. You're amazing. Amber's like 30 years younger than Dewey. It's so possible that it was her. Have a good night, Ashton. So again, guys, we want to say thank you for coming out and hanging out with us. If you haven't, please subscribe to Jordana's podcast. Please make sure you're following her on social media. She's an absolute gem of a human being.
Yes, she is.
And Ashley and I are
Thank
so
you.
proud to be able to call her a friend as well.
Yeah.
I know
Aw.
Kainan's gone, but Ghost Pirate Entertainment means the world to Ashley and I as well. Please make sure you're following him, subscribing to him.
Mhm.
He's a great guy with a great head on his shoulders as well, and he means the world to both of us. Like I said, tomorrow, I never ask you guys to go watch our videos. I feel like that's thirsty. Please check out our review for Speak No Evil tomorrow. I'm very, very proud of how our episode of Speak No Evil came out.
Mhm.
It's a movie that Ash and I have not stopped thinking about. Yes, Amanda, he was amazing though. If you go back and watch the replay, he was great. He did do his whole top 10.
Yeah.
So please make sure you're checking it out. He was great. He had some great kills on his list as well. Yes, it was amazing. Thank you. So like I said, check out Speak No Evil tomorrow. We're very proud of this review and how it went out. So coming up, we're going to have reviews on next week. We have a review on My Bloody Valentine, which was voted on by our panel, our chat. And then we have Shutter Island, It Follows, and then for St. Patrick's Day, we are reviewing the best movie in the Leprechaun franchise, the latest installment from Sci-Fi, Leprechaun Returns. And I'm not being facetious. I really feel like it is the best movie in that franchise.
Either that or the first one.
Thank you so much, Leslie.
Thanks, Leslie.
For real. Thank you. You didn't have to do that. I appreciate it so much. It is another donation, guys. So let's show some love this way, because I think when you guys give a donation, I happen to think that it's just
perfectly splendid, 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 perfectly splended.
perfectly splendid.
I was like, this is the longest clip ever.
I love it.
I didn't realize how much she said that throughout the show. So when I was trying to get that, I was like, this is gonna take us a really long time for me to find every one of these and edit them. So yeah, it's perfectly splendid. So thank you again.
Perfectly
The fact that you are willing to do that, Leslie, thank you. It seriously means a lot.
Thanks, Leslie.
From the bottom of our hearts. Thank you. The stream was perfectly splendid. So thank you guys again.
Yeah.
Jordana, please don't go anywhere. We got a couple more questions for you.
Yes.
Everybody else, as always, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. It really does help the channel grow more than you know. And follow Sledgehammer Horror on social media. Our links are down in the description as well. But until next time, keep talking horror.
Stay who you are.
And we'll see you guys soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.